EAGLES, Eagles.
Welcome in, everybody, to a Tuesday edition of Birds 365 here on JAKIB Sports as we now prep for what will be a Super Bowl 59 and a rematch of the great Super Bowl 57, Eagles versus Chiefs, coming up around 2 weeks from now. This is a Tuesday edition as we still recap this NFC Championship game and start to turn the page and look toward that matchup next couple of weeks. Johnny Mac, how you doing on this Tuesday morning, brother?
Doing well. Yeah. It's going to be a long period between the Super Bowl.
I know, man.
You kind of wish it was a week, but we don't live in that world. So
no, they got to milk it. They got to get everything ready. You know how it is.
Yeah. But hey, Eagles are still playing. There's only two teams still playing, so I'd say that's pretty positive.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. We're gonna put our final touches or just a little final recap here on the NFC Championship game, and then we'll start to turn the page and start to look forward at what's coming up, and obviously the matchup with the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll have plenty of time to break that down. We'll take some comments from the chat, and then we'll talk to Caden Steele in hour number 2. So looking forward to doing that. I want to welcome everybody in here this morning. I'm your host, Zander Krause. If you're new to the show, which we might have, John, some new people in the show with the big Super Bowl run.
Come on, you got to jump on it. Come on.
You got to jump on it.
A lot of people listening in that run up to the NFC Championship game. I don't know how many on, podcast and all that kind of stuff. We don't give those people enough love, but a lot of people watching, listening to the show. So
yeah, no doubt
thank them for that.
Yep, our best season ever of Birds 365 here on the show. So we appreciate each and every one of you guys. I'm your host, Zander Krause. Give me a follow on X at RealZander. Be sure to connect with me over there. I love connecting with the great people of JAKIB Nation. And that's my co-host, John McMullen, the #1 Eagles beat reporter in town. And the people who come to Birds 365 are the most educated football fans because of listening to Johnny Mac. So good stuff there. John, we're now closer to 48 hours removed from this game. We're going to get into some other topics today, but I did want to give you a chance now that the dust has settled. The overreaction Monday is over and beyond us. 55-23 is what the history books will read on that football game. Just your kind of final thoughts on where this football team is now as we're, a little bit over a week out from the Super Bowl. And I believe they just played their best football, John.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the goal. You want to play your best football in the playoffs, and they played their best game of the season. So that's a good place to be in. A lot of confidence from this team right now. 55 points, NFL record for a championship game. So, there's not a lot to complain about that. I wrote about stealing souls. They seem to steal souls in NFC championship games, whether it was the Chris Long hit on Case Keenum back in 2018 or the Hassan Reddick hit on Brock Purdy in 2023. And now you have the Saquon Barkley 60-yard touchdown tone setter, first offensive play in 2025. It's rare where you can point to one moment in a football game and said you stole the soul of the opposition. Every single time they've been able to do that in the NFC Championship game. So my advice to the rest of the NFC is to try to keep that damn game out of Philadelphia because you're not going to win it here.
It's so true, man. And you talked about that going up to the game. And, I kind of had the Nick Sirianni approach, John, where I'm like, well, what does 2017 have to do with this year? What does 22 have to do with this year? And we really beat up on that team, man. They're gonna be thinking it's one thing to have a great season like the Commanders did and feel good about it. It's another thing to go out like that, John. They're gonna be thinking about that.
Well, I heard that all get leading up to the game. I hate that term, playing with house money. You don't want to come in with that mentality. I don't know if they did. I'm not.
Well, you heard the well, I guess you didn't. You were at the game. Actually, the broadcast started with a comment about that.
Yeah, it drives me nuts. I mean,
well, Brady said that Dan Quinn was saying to the team, "We're not playing with house money. This isn't house money. We're going to win the football."
Good. Because I mean,
didn't quite work.
You're in that position. It's really difficult to be there. There's a lot of good teams, and obviously Kansas City and Philadelphia, and they've been there as consistently, with Kansas City as you can, and certainly this is the best run, I would say, of Eagles football in the modern era. Yeah, you can get back, but it ain't easy. And you've seen it, we all talked about Detroit. I talked about Detroit all season. And I remember Dan Campbell talking about when they lost the opportunity in the NFC Championship game the year prior, saying, it was so devastating because it's hard to get back. And they didn't get back, even with all the talent, but the injuries assembled, and they didn't get back. It's hard. So many things have to align. And I think I talked about spoiled fan bases all the time. They asked me that question on CBS Sports Radio, whatever they call that now, Infinity Sports Radio last night. And I'm like, hey, so many things, starting with health, number one. What one injury can dramatically deflect you off the goal. So when you have these opportunities, you have to take advantage of them. And I'm glad Dan Quinn said that. Eagles have to take advantage of this. Obviously, it's difficult facing Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. You can't just say, we'll be back. A lot of talent, a lot of young talent, but
Right.
This game is devastating from a physical standpoint. So to get to this position with enough healthy players, number one, just that is hard enough.
Yeah.
And all the other things that have to go right.
Yeah, the Eagles' philosophy on keeping players healthy is one that clearly works. We're now going into another Super Bowl with, obviously not everybody's healthy this year. The 22 Super Bowl, obviously we went into the Super Bowl all 22 starters on that game were healthy in that game, weren't they, John? Eagles in the Super Bowl.
I'd have to think about that. That's never the case because guys are on injured reserve. But I'm trying to.
I thought 57. That was one of the storylines. But anyway, I think most of the people were healthy. And again, we're a relatively healthy team at this point in the year right now compared to some of the other teams. So Eagles' philosophy is working on keeping players healthy. And here we are, second Super Bowl game in 2 years, which is pretty unbelievable. John, we're going to start to dive into that game. I got some good questions for you about that football game. I do want to get an update from you. What is the agenda now for the Philadelphia Eagles? It's probably a different looking week or 2 weeks, obviously, with the Super Bowl lead up, with Radio Row, with everything that the media day down there. What's it look like today and then this week for the Philadelphia Eagles?
Today, well, the players and coaches had off tomorrow, so it's a little bit different. So today's like a typical Monday. Nick Sirianni is going to talk to us via Zoom later today. My guess, and we don't have the schedule, they haven't put out the schedule. My guess is the coordinators are going to talk tomorrow, so everything pushed back a day. Then they're going to have a couple practices and then shut everything down for the trip to New Orleans. So, little bit of a lighter week, obviously, just talked about. You want to keep everybody fresh this time of year. But, Sunday is when they leave for New Orleans. Sunday or Monday, actually. They haven't made it clear on who's arriving where, just that there's always a photo opportunity for photographers at the airport arrivals.
Right.
And those details are still to be concerned, but Sunday, Monday, if it were up to the Eagles, they'll go down Monday. I guarantee you that, but we'll see. Sunday or Monday. Monday night is the media day, which is the goofy sort of, you see the people dressed up and asking the stupid questions and all that kind of stuff. And then, the big days from a media standpoint are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, when the players are and the coaches are available. And obviously, then you get into, you got to practice during the week and all the game prep. But yeah, a lot of hoopla.
It's a lot of hoopla, man. Based on what you just said, where is the freaking time to practice for these guys? But it's a lot of stuff dealing with it. And that's kind of why, John, I felt, I understand your point of every team is different. There's so many new players this year compared to 22, but I do feel like there is an advantage for Jalen and Nick and being the leaders of the team, having been to the Super Bowl in 22, because you learn some of that stuff. I mean, let's be real. This is so much more than just a game when you get to this point. You're no longer just having a regular week prep. It's not all the same thing. It's not at your home field where your wife and your family and your kids and everybody are used to going. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And I think the Eagles, I think at least some of the players in the Eagles and specifically the leaders of the Eagles have that advantage because they were there in 22, and maybe that helps them focus a little bit or at least prioritize what's important before the game.
Yeah, I think, well, both these teams obviously have a tremendous experience doing this kind of stuff. The Chiefs even more. So I certainly don't think that's going to be an advantage, but it helps that it's not the Eagles' first rodeo as well.
Right. Not an advantage, but not as much of a disadvantage. Maybe.
Yeah. But there's always, even with the Chiefs, they have new players that have never done it before. Right. I always talk about that turnover in the NFL. But the core group has been through it for them a lot. The core group here has been through it and been through playoffs and big games. So, yeah, that part I don't think is going to be too much of an impact on the game. And if it is anyway, it's generally, even if you have two teams, say it was Buffalo and Detroit, maybe the first 4 or 5, maybe the first drive, and then you get into just playing football anyway. So, and hopefully it being in the Superdome this year, can't screw up the field, although, because it's fixed. If you go back to Arizona, you could open and close that place, and they're trying to do different things with the place, and the footing just wasn't there. So I don't think they can screw it up, but we'll see.
And maybe they can. You never know what they can do. I do want to welcome and thank everybody in this morning. We do have one piece of news that I want to get to that I just saw here on Good Morning Football on the NFL Network this morning that we will get to. I do want to thank everybody. Prince is in here. Brandon Howard. Brandon, good to see you, brother. You weren't on here for Zander time yesterday. Maybe nobody has told you yet, Brandon, but you were our legend winner yesterday of the Cooper DeJean jersey, brother. So congratulations to you. Thank you. Yeah, Cooper. It's really
saw
cool.
Coop was at the Flyers game. I think.
Oh, was he? I didn't see that, but
I think
good to see Brandon Howard in here. So we appreciate you, Brandon Howard. Good stuff, brother. B-Mo's in here. Cali Baby, Izzy B, Dirty D, flexing and stepping, going. What's going on, everybody? We appreciate all you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button for us. We appreciate you for being here. Johnny Mac, the Saints flew into Philadelphia last night to interview Kellen Moore. What do you think of that? Do you think he has a good chance to land that job? I think he put in a pretty good NFC Championship game performance, which maybe helped that a little bit. But
didn't hurt.
Yeah, definitely didn't hurt. No doubt about that. But they flew into Philly last night. I don't know, when they fly into Philly, they don't meet at the Eagles facility, do they?
No.
I was going to say, what goes on with that?
Probably whatever hotel they probably stayed at. Kellen likely went over there. But I mean, it's one of those things that's good. For people around the league, I think that's where Mike McCarthy's going to land. They're going to interview him later this week. Obviously, they're the last team. So they can kick their feet. They can take as long as they want, but that's been the betting line in sort of league circles. They had interest in Aaron Glenn as well, but they dragged their feet, and he's the head coach of the Jets now. So, and then I think Kellen's the third guy, or had been the third guy. Now he moves up to 2. But I'll tell you, especially with bad organizations, and I'm going to put New Orleans in that category with Mickey Loomis. That 55 spot can turn heads. Now, you shouldn't be hiring people on one game, good or bad. A lot of people talked about Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. Bad game. They both got head coaching jobs. You got to look at the bigger picture, or you should look at the bigger picture. But most teams looking for head coaches, not all,
Right.
are not very good, and they don't have great organizations, especially the ones that have tremendous turnover very quickly, and they tend to make rash decisions. So 55, like I said, it didn't hurt. Still think Mike McCarthy's going to get that job, but we should know pretty quickly, because I think Mike's set to meet with him at some time later this week. And if he doesn't get it, that means they're probably waiting for Kellen.
We'll see how it all plays out. I will say the weird irony of it is in 2022, Jonathan Gannon was interviewing with the Cardinals. The Super Bowl was played in Glendale, Arizona. That mother effer stayed in Arizona after the Super Bowl with his new football team. Now we will fly to New Orleans, where Kellen Moore is now interviewing to be there.
Yeah, I gotta. Jonathan Gannon, I have to correct it because this drives me insane. Did not interview with the Arizona Cardinals during this time. Did not. Don't care how many people say that to you. They don't understand what happened. Did not.
Interviewed after the game?
He interviewed after the game. Now, I knew he was getting the job on Saturday. I told Jody. Jody can tell you that. I texted him. He's getting the job. Everybody knew because they had made their decision. Now he could have. I guess he could have went into. He's good friends with the Arizona GM. He had been before. That's why he got the job very late. The GM job very late in the process. So the rules of the NFL are that you can have a second interview if you win the NFC Championship game in between the Super Bowl, the off week of the Super Bowl,
right,
as Kellen Moore is doing, because they already interviewed him virtually. So this is his second interview with the Saints. Shane Steichen interviewed with the Indianapolis Colts in the lead up to the Super Bowl. Because
at the same time that Kellen did this year?
Yes, in the off week, because he already had a first interview and he was doing a second interview.
Right.
Jonathan didn't have the first interview. So that's the problem. That's where Arizona got in trouble. The reason he didn't have the first interview was because Monty Ossenfort got the job late, the GM. He's very close to Jonathan Gannon. Once he got the job, what Arizona did wrong was they called him up to congratulate him after the NFC Championship game. Remember, Jonathan said he was staying because he didn't get the Houston job.
Right.
And he thought he was staying. And the Eagles thought he was staying. And Monty called him up to congratulate him and said, "Hey, would you have some interest in the Arizona job?" Not allowed to do that. That was why they were penalized. He was not, at that point of the process, he would have to have waited till after the Super Bowl. But he made that phone call. And the only thing the Eagles were upset about is they were not made aware. And because of that, they would have tried to lock down Vic Fangio. Because of that, Vic left for Miami. And Vic's a stand-up guy. He's not going back on his word. So it wasn't like he was going to Liam Cohen the Dolphins once he agreed to go.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, that's exactly what happened. He never interviewed in the lead up to the Super Bowl for all the morons.
So he never had a face-to-face interview because I remember he got that job pretty.
No, he had a face-to-face interview after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, after the Super Bowl. That's what I meant. But it seems like it seems like, I mean, if you knew Saturday, then they knew they were going to hire him.
Yeah, I mean, unless he went in and said, "F you, Monty Ossenfort," he was getting the job. I mean, it's just a formality. And contract, obviously, you got to work out the contract. But, it's a first-time head coach. That wasn't going to be a problem. So, but, man, there's so much misinformation about that.
Yeah, well, to be fair, the reporting wasn't super clear at the time about it, right? I mean, it was.
Well, it's been clear since. I mean,
Yeah, but you know how that goes, John. I mean, once the narrative is the narrative, brother, you spend years trying to correct that sucker.
yeah,
I mean, that's how it goes, John. I mean, that's why fake news is a thing.
Well, I don't know of anybody with any repute that knew what was going on, said Jonathan Gannon interviewed with the Arizona. I don't think you can find that anywhere, to be honest, in the lead up to the Super Bowl.
Right.
I don't think anybody reported that. And if they did, please point it out, because they were wrong and I never saw it. So I kind of, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people assuming and just say it because they wanted to have the excuse and the scapegoat for the Super Bowl. And I always thought it was so ironic because Shane actually did interview. Neither was distracted. But Shane actually did interview, like Kellen has now. Jonathan didn't. But, you know, people want that excuse. Now the excuse is already, oh, it's Mahomes. It's they're going to get all the calls. People want that excuse in case things go wrong. My mentality is go win the game. Jonathan Gannon is one of the most competitive people in the world. He's never won a Super Bowl. You really think he didn't want to win a fucking Super Bowl? I mean,
do you think it had any effect on the Super Bowl? Yes or no?
No, zero, less than zero.
All right, so you do not believe this will be an issue either for the Super Bowl?
No, okay. Less than zero.
All right, now, so Kellen Moore, though. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. This happens no. I mean, they had a day off yesterday.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that it is. I'm just generally asking for your opinion because you know what people will go, John. And the idea on the show is to correct narratives that go around, whether they're right or wrong. And many of those guys,
Kellen Moore, same thing. Kellen Moore has never won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I'm just saying on for example, there's going to be a section of the fan base on Twitter or wherever they go, wherever they gather, whether it's Chickies and Pete's or X on their accounts, and they're going to assume that because Kellen is interviewing or a prospective head coach for the Saints, it could impact his preparation for the biggest game of the year in that Super Bowl 59.
Zero impact. Can I go less than zero?
Yeah, you can if you'd like, because I think people will look.
You know, this mentality that he's got to study the New Orleans roster or the draft. I'm like, no, he doesn't. First of all, he's an NFL coach. He already does it. It doesn't work like that. But number two, again, two things can be correct. He's got an ambition. He wants to be a head coach. And he also wants to desperately win a Super Bowl that he's on the cusp of. You know, adult men can do different things. You know, they can compartmentalize. You know, as I always point out with coaches, they're going to fire your ass. You know, so don't give me this loyalty bullshit. You know, Kellen's a perfect example. Had I think he had 3 number 1 offenses in Dallas, at least 2, maybe 3. They fired him. He said 1 year in Arizona, Los Angeles, with the Chargers. They didn't fire him but Brandon Staley was a lame duck. This is his 3rd city in 3 years. If he's got a chance to be a head coach, he's going to take a chance to be a head coach.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I mean, shit, I thought he was scapegoated in Dallas. And by the way, Kellen Moore does have a pretty good resume. I mean, here we go now with the Super Bowl berth. Okay, one of the most historic running games ever. And when he was in Dallas, he had a number 1 offense twice, and that was built around a passing game. So my point is that he's kind of checked every box. I've had a successful passing game. I've had a successful running game. And now I have, been the offensive coordinator of an offense that has put up 55 in an NFC championship game and marched their way to a Super Bowl at 17-3. Pretty impressive resume.
And by the way, I'm stunned he didn't get the Dallas job, to be honest with you.
I thought for sure he was getting that.
and that's just Jerry Jones. I don't know what he's like, a maverick wild card weirdo. Um, but yeah, I'm stunned he didn't get that job. And I think the Eagles will be fine, to be honest.
I do too. I just wanted to talk to you about it because, again, I know that the people are going to be talking about it and saying it. Here, and the
Oh, I
last thing I'll
know.
say,
I know I'm fighting a losing battle
I
there.
don't think you're fighting a losing battle. I honestly think that you're giving the great people who view this show a different perspective on this than the common narrative that goes around that, okay, if he takes an interview, it's going to cost you the Super Bowl, which is just not the case. But we appreciate, John, your breakdown of that. The last thing I'll say about this, and I'll get your perspective on this. We talk about human factors. We talk about like the human nature of the game a lot with players and things. Wouldn't you believe, and I'm not saying it's taken away, I'm just adding it for perspective. Isn't there a human nature element to that though, where, if you're interviewing for a head coaching job, there's got to be some human element to that where you're nervous or you're prepping or you want to make sure you answer questions well, or any of those things. Do you believe that any human nature is involved in that type of process where you're trying to lead up to obviously a nerve-wracking big football game, and then there's another element where you're interviewing, for a head coach? Is there any human nature element of it there where it is a little bit of a distraction?
Well, you can't. You can't get inside people's heads. I have met enough football coaches to know that, like, they're not getting nervous like for football games like fans are getting nervous, number one, or they wouldn't be coaches.
I don't know. Nick
Um,
Sirianni was crying at the anthem on 22 Super Bowl. Johnny Mac,
well,
he had something going through him, brother.
that's not nerves. That's
Well,
enormity of the moment and just being overwhelmed because
okay,
his
so it's
life's
not nerves.
work has reached the stage of where it is. I mean, he's just emotional about making it to the highest stage of his
Yeah, we're
chosen
split. I mean, we're
profession.
splitting hairs though. If it's not nerves, okay, it's something else. It's the enormity of the moment has brought him to tears at the anthem. That shows you that the human element side of it is real.
Well, yeah, and but I'm speaking specifically of nerves. They don't have nerves generally. If they do have nerves, they're not coaching at that level. So I would say that the same thing with interviews. I mean, and Nick has explained this multiple times. He explained it this year again. If you have ambition, and most people get into this with ambition to be, certainly younger coaches. There are guys like Big Fangio at 66 says, I already did it. I'm done. I don't want to do it again.
Yeah, right.
So there's always different stages of life, but Kellen's 36 years old. He's already interviewed in the past. He interviewed for the Eagles job way back in 2021.
Yeah.
He's getting interviews every year. He's used to this. Nick, you don't just wake up one day and somebody calls up and, your agent has been prepping you for this. The famous Andy Reid story, he had binders of what his coaching staff was going to look like. The prep's already done. Then it's about winning over, like any interview, winning over people. That's probably why Kellen doesn't have a job, to be honest. He's not the most dynamic. I was like, Shane Steichen, his first year here, little inside baseball. I don't know if people remember. They always say Kellen Moore gives you nothing on the podium. Shane Steichen gave you nothing on the podium.
I love your stories about Shane off the record too.
Nothing. And Shane wanted to be a head coach, and he got advice from the Eagles PR staff. Look, you got to connect, with, some of the media people, and he started doing these off the record sessions with us. He's a completely different guy, just engaging. And all of a sudden you see these stories coming out about Shane Steichen, and people are talking about him like I'm talking about him. And then he's a head coach. I think Kellen's got to go through a similar thing. Because, I saw New Orleans, Nick Underhill's got his own show. He was the one who first reported the Saints were flying here. And I happened to click on, because it was live on X, which I finally, thanks to Zander, finally figuring that out. So you can watch this show on my X platform as well at JF McMullen, which that took way too long, but that's my fault. But anyway, I heard him talking about Kellen, and they said, well, he's, his presence isn't there. I'm like, they don't even know the guy. And he admitted, I don't know the guy, but he doesn't have the presence.
Well, didn't you say to me before, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, didn't you say to me before that Kellen doesn't do any of the things you just explained that Shane's
no,
does?
But I think
off the record.
That's what I'm getting to. I think
right.
next year when he comes back, and he'll probably be back, if he wants to be a head coach, he should start doing stuff like that. And maybe the narrative changes. Maybe it doesn't, because I don't know. Other than saying hello to him in a tunnel here and there, and congratulating him, a nice guy, but there's no relationship there. And you have this narrative around the league where he doesn't have the presence to be a head coach. I would have said the same thing about Shane Steichen as my point after year one. After year two, getting to know him.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And by the way, Shane was a quarterback in college. Quarterbacks by nature tend to be leaders. And Kellen was obviously a freaking tremendous quarterback in college for people that don't know. Set NCAA records that still stand today. I mean, I imagine behind the scenes he's more of a leader, but people don't get to see that. And when people don't get to see that, they buy into, well, he doesn't have the presence to be a head coach now.
Right.
So
how many are left now on that Saints job? I know it's McCarthy. I know Kellen.
Well, the three I heard were McCarthy. The three finalists were McCarthy, Glenn, and Kellen. And
Glenn's
with the Jets, and Kellen interviewed last night, and Mike's interviewing. I haven't heard anybody else, so it should be between Kellen.
We're close. We'll see. We'll see if it's Kellen or
Mike McCarthy.
We'll see if it's Kellen.
And you can always wait. Like, they're last. Everybody else is done. So they can do what the Eagles did. The Eagles were like, for people that don't know, in 2021, Josh McDaniels was this close to getting this job. And you can thank Jeffrey Lurie for turning in a different direction. And the Eagles were, behind the eight ball because they fired Doug Peterson late, and Brandon Staley wouldn't interview with him. It's funny. The hot candidates were Brandon Staley, Arthur Smith, and Robert Saleh. And the Eagles wanted to interview them all. Brandon Staley said no. Saleh and Smith did, but they were already long down the road. Saleh was getting the Jets job, so he just did it as a courtesy. And Smith was getting where did he go? Titans? No, he was the Titans up. But Arthur Smith? What? Such a disaster. I forget already. The Falcons. The Falcons.
Oh yeah, Falcons stuff.
So and he was already way down the road with the Falcons, so he just did it as a courtesy as well. So they kept going, and then they got to Josh McDaniels. And Howie recommended Josh McDaniels to be the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oof.
And I think Jeffrey, had questions if those two can get along long term. You never know, but my guess would be no.
Yeah,
they might get along for a while, but long term. And I think that's where Jeffrey ended up. Can't say 100 people. And they just kept going, and they interviewed Nick Sirianni, and he won them over with his personality. So
turned out to be a pretty damn good hire, man. He's on 2 Super Bowls now in 4 years as a head coach, the second in the last 3 years, and a damn good winning record. So we'll see how it all plays out. Good stuff there, Johnny Mac. John, I want to turn the page now and start to, look ahead a little bit at this Super Bowl game. I think we've recapped up pretty well the NFC Championship game. Obviously, a pretty historic performance by the Philadelphia Eagles. Very well done. Jalen Hurts, great game. Great game all around for the team. Defense, obviously, great game again. As we start to turn the page, John, and look to that Super Bowl, just the first couple of matchups, the first couple of key storylines that come into your head about that game. Because I will say there's a lot of good ones, man. And my favorite one, John, is one I think you'll love too. Andy Reid versus Vic Fangio. I think that's the best story, one of the best storylines.
Yeah.
How do you see it, man, going into this game? Just early look at some of the storylines that stick out to you in the Super Bowl 59.
Well, there's, obviously Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid lead the list. But, Reid, I know Jeff Kerr crushed everyone with Vic's career record against Patrick Mahomes yesterday, which is not good. But nobody's career record against Patrick Mahomes is good. And I think Vic has never won against Patrick Mahomes. But again, these are why, and I love stats. I don't love stats. I love Jeff. But the stats, he was in Denver with shitty teams and shitty quarterbacks. And he's playing them twice a year.
Right.
Why is that relevant?
Well, is it relevant just from the perspective of you've seen it and you've played it, even if you weren't successful against it, you have experience against it?
Yeah, well, I don't like anybody. If the Chiefs have the ball with 2 minutes left, I don't like Vic Fangio. I don't like Jim Johnson. I don't like Zander, Krause. I don't like anybody against Patrick Mahomes. I don't like anybody.
Down? Come on, man. No, I'm with you. I hear you.
Good offense beats good defense. It's the way the NFL has made it. That's the way they want it. That's the way they made it. And this is one of the great quarterbacks of all time, who doesn't seem to be shaken by any kind of stage. I don't think you're stealing his soul. It's tough. You don't want to be in that position. But look, I've said it a lot. And there's, to me, the bigger thing is going to be Spags versus Vic, because I think to fans and a lot of media people, they're going to immediately go to Spags. And I think people inside the NFL would tell you Vic. But I think that's going to be the more interesting thing. And Andy's great. Vic's great. That's strength versus strength. And that's why this is going to be a compelling, interesting game. Because, I'll say this. I'll say it this way. Andy's going to give Vic more trouble than most people. And Vic's going to give Andy more trouble than most people. And that's what you want.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah. So that's what you want. It's a big reason why both these teams are here.
We'll see how it all plays out. Good stuff there, Johnny Mac. We're going to talk to Caden Steele coming up here in hour number 2. So we'll do that in just a little bit. We'll get to our first commercial break now. I want to thank everybody for being here. I got 3 super chats to read. So I will get to them now. But again, all you guys in the chat, we've had great crowds all week long. So big thanks to everybody for being here and for supporting the show. Don't forget to hit that like button and stick around after the show. We'll do a few more giveaways today. I'll be doing giveaways basically all week, all 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl. And the update on Johnny Mac is Johnny Mac will be flying out to New Orleans on Wednesday of next week, Johnny Mac. So you will be in the building out in New Orleans, brother. Johnny Mac on Bourbon Street, baby. Let's go, Johnny Mac.
Not the first time Johnny Mac on Bourbon Street.
Johnny Mac will be ripping Bourbon Street. Don't be fooled. He'll tell you he's not going. Johnny Mac will
too much work. Too much work on people don't understand how much work the Super Bowl is.
I know it is.
We spend our entire week in the media center and at different hotels interviewing players and coaches. But I wish maybe Saturday nights before the game. Maybe we'll go out to dinner. That's about it.
Good stuff there from Johnny Mac. So Johnny Mac will go down there next week. So should be good stuff. I'm trying to see if Big Z can go down there too. Trying to work it all out now, but I'll keep you guys all posted on that. Nate the God checks in. J Mac Izzle. I love when he calls you that. Did you notice the RPO is back in full effect? He says. Nate, thank you, brother.
Yeah, I mean, Challen was very a lot more mobile than I would have guessed he was going to be. So, it's a big part of the offense when it's we talk about that +1 factor all the time. So when that's cooking, it's certainly better for the Eagles. It's really difficult to deal with. But the design runs, other than the tush push touchdowns, I mean, they weren't going anywhere. So it'll be interesting. I still think you have to see, again, Kansas City, better defense, more talented defense, better defensive coordinator. They're gonna be in the same boat as Washington was, trying to feel out how much Jalen Hurts can do. And he did enough. But if you look at the numbers, again, he had 3 rushing touchdowns, but I think he had like 16 yards on 10 carries. I mean, he wasn't effective as a runner. So I would have sold out to stop Saquon. And Saquon, because of the nature of the blowout, only touched it 15 times. Then they let Will Shipley run all over him to close out the game. So, but it was a blowout by that point. So I'm surprised they didn't sell out a little bit more. But when the first play goes for 60, they shouldn't be in that game.
John, think about that for a second. How demoralizing that must be.
I wrote about it. It was
prepare all week to stop Saquon Barkley, and one fucking play, and the guy's in the end zone. I mean, you got to look up at when that happens and it's got to defeat you. It's got to. I mean, shit, human nature. An early theme in today's show. Holy crap.
And this has been going on all year. And I look at the AJ block, look at the Jordan block, Jordan Mailata, look at the Dallas Goedert block, look at the hole. And then, like I said, the difference between Saquon and Miles and DeAndre is that's probably a 25-yard gain for Miles and DeAndre, but it's still a 25-yard gain, but like that's nothing. But then he does the spin move and breaks 3 tackles and takes it 60. That's the difference. That's a 25-yard gain with Will Shipley. That's how massive that hole was. And that's the first offensive play of the game.
Yeah, I'm happy you said that because I did point out yesterday on the National Football Show in my segment in the afternoon, I said, I'm not taking away from Saquon Barkley, so don't take it that way. But who else had a big ass run in that game? It was Will freaking Shipley, who didn't make it to the end zone, but again, just a masterclass performance by the offensive line. And I think it's really Jeff Stoutland, who's the run game coordinator, who just creates these perfect runs, man. I mean, Will Shipley, poor Will Shipley, John, he ran out of gas, man. That was, oh, man. I was.
Well, yeah, Saquon's not running out of gas.
No, he's not running out of gas. No way.
But that hole, and Baldy put it up, it's just massive. Massive. I'll retweet it again if I can find it, but he didn't get touched until he was about 25 yards down the field. Didn't even get touched. So, I mean, that's pretty good.
Pretty good stuff here. By the way, I wanted to ask Jason, thanks for the super, because I meant to ask John about this, and I have maybe a little bit of a controversial take here about this. Jason A-Team checks in. What do you think of BG coming back rumors? John, I'll let you answer first. Your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to come back. I've talked to him numerous times, obviously, but that's an injury that needs a certain time to heal. That's that's a doctor decision. Now, what I could see happening is the Eagles start his practice window. Doesn't hurt You get 21 days. This is the last game of the season. I could even see him putting him on the roster, as deference to him. Can I see him playing significant snaps? No, not at all.
I'm with you. And I when I said I might have a controversial take, I love Brandon Graham, but I don't know if Vic Fangio, even if he is available, would go to him much, because it really seems like Vic Fangio likes this 3-guy rotation. I mean, for whatever.
Well, I don't even think about that.
Bryce Huff is literally at the point where they don't even try. They don't even try. Did you see the video? I think it was Jimmy Kempski from Philly Voice put up a video of Vic Fangio walking off. He was like, first guy off the field before, during the celebrations is Vic Fangio. And as Vic Fangio is walking in, you can see Bryce Huff sprinting by him to the locker room. I'm like, dude, this guy wants no part of this team. It's weird. From the outside, that's what it looks like.
Hey, Bryce got what did he get? 12 snaps.
10 snaps in the end of the game.
12 snaps, yeah, end of the game. Blowout. That's the only reason. But no, I mean, Brandon, I think people, Brandon, he would use Brandon. He loves Brandon. He loves him.
Yeah, I'm not saying he doesn't like him. I just feel like he's in rhythm right now with this 3.
No, if he were healthy completely, how he would use him.
Okay.
He's a great player. He was having a great season. Big loves him. But again, I don't think it's sort of like a torn ACL in the fact that, like a lot of guys feel fine about 6 months after torn ACL, and they think they can play, but it needs a certain time to heal properly. Just needs time. And this is a torn tricep, similar thing. This is pushing it, and you can imagine. Like Brandon feels fine, so from his perspective, but then you go out there and start pushing on 300-pound offensive linemen. They're pushing back. So that is a decision completely up to the doctors. And if they say he can go, the Eagles will welcome him back, not only because of the player he was, but the season he was having. And he will play, and he will take snaps away from Jalix Hunt, not Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt.
Right.
But, I find it very hard to believe that the doctors are going to say, yeah, he's 100%. He's ready to go. But we'll see.
I agree. The triceps is an interesting injury. We'll see if BG is back and ready to go. I would love to see him in gear on the sideline. That would be great, just because obviously, John, I know you're not a fan of the team, but BG is obviously a guy that has
I'm a fan of BG.
Yeah, well, BG. I mean, of the team, though. I mean, he's, fans love him, and I know why. He's a great human being. He's one of the few players I've spoken with many times behind the scenes, off the air. He's awesome. Dirty Air checks in. Point blank, all coaching and hiring should take place after the Super Bowl for all teams, just like players. It's an uphill battle there, Dirty Air. Not going to happen, bro.
And what did Jeff Kerr say? And if what did he say? My aunt had.
If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. That was an iconic line from Jeff Kerr, man.
There we go. That's the rule. The Eagles, it's how the NFL is set up. Every single team that had a coaching opening already has a coach, except for the Saints. Every single one of them. Teams that are not playing don't give a shit about the teams that are playing.
Right.
And they want to move forward with their business. And that's not changing. It's not changing. And believe me, when the Eagles aren't good, you wouldn't want to sit around for coaches until after the Super Bowl. So, it's not the Eagles. It's everybody. Everybody plays under the same rules. As long as everybody plays under the same rules, there's no issue.
Yeah. I don't disagree with your premise, Dirty Air, that it's not an ideal situation. The only problem with it is there is no fix, because, John, you know how it is in the behind the scenes in the NFL world, man. These coaches get hired and they are immediately working all day long. Prep for the draft, prep for the next season, prep for this. Prep.
Guess what's going on also this week, guys? Nobody cares in Philadelphia. The Senior Bowl.
Yeah. Howie sending out a crew to that, or do you think Howie will be there?
No, Howie won't be there.
Howie won't.
Yeah,
right?
they'll have people there.
Yeah, he'll send out some people.
Yeah, they'll always have. But obviously, when you go this deep, you remember what happened. Your off season is shortened. You don't have enough. You don't have as much time to do the other stuff. But you'd rather be in this position than going to the Senior Bowl and trekking everybody down to the Senior Bowl. You'd rather be playing, but there are things. The rest of the NFL is on to their off-season business, and that includes coaching hires, Senior Bowl prep, draft prep, and the Eagles. They got bigger things to deal with, and the Chiefs have bigger things to deal with. And I'd rather be the Eagles, where people want my coaches, than some shit organization like the New Orleans Saints that has to fly into Philadelphia to talk to your coordinators, put up 55 points. Help put up 55 points. I don't know why people get so upset by this. How we explained it in the offseason. Either way, you're losing coaches. If you're really good, you're losing coaches. If you're really bad and you don't reach expectations, you don't even have to be really bad. You're losing coaches. It's part of it. Get over it.
The only fix at this point is if you wanted to go down the play calling head coach route. And I really, John, I think you've been proven right. I mean, though there was four coaches left, and all of them I think were CEO coaches. You had Quinn and Sirianni, and then you had Andy Reid and Sean McDermott. I mean, you know what I mean? Andy Reid's the only play caller left. Now, he's ultimately the most successful, but I kind of put him in rarefied air, and everybody else is in their own bracket or their own category.
And Andy often, you don't even know. Andy hands off.
Yeah, right. So true.
Nobody knows. He'll hand it off in game.
They play a lot of freestyle out there. Actually, the Chiefs do. More than other teams. Yeah,
certainly Mahomes and Kelsey.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm a big CEO coach guy. I've been all the time. I don't want a super coordinator. Like, I don't want a guy. This is part, people say I don't like Sean McVay. I just think he's overrated because of his reputation. But I can tell you exactly where I said, when Sean McVay first got the Rams job, he would go, Wade Phillips was the defensive coordinator at the time. When the defense was on the field, he would turn his back. He would go talk to the court. He wouldn't even watch the game. I'm like, I don't want that from my head coach.
Right.
You're just, you have an offensive head coach, you have an offensive coach and a defensive head coach, and you just designate one as more power. I don't want that. Because, again, it's a leadership position more than a scheme position.
Yeah, and I'm with you on the I'm with you on all that. Obviously, that Liam Cohen will be interesting to see how he plays out, because I think he fumbled the first bit of leadership he needed to show in taking a new job. But I digress on that. All right, everybody, we appreciate it. We got a great crowd in here. We're going to talk to Caden Steele in hour number 2. I'll get to our first commercial break now. Thanks, everybody, for the super chats and for checking in here on the show today. Make sure you guys stick around after. I'll be doing some giveaways again on Zander time. All right, we'll update yesterday's giveaways. I sent out a bunch more giveaways yesterday. A few more to send out today, and I'll give you guys the updates on all of that. John, I don't think there's any other channel that's giving away 50 Eagles jerseys this year and counting. So
wow.
Make sure you guys
how many? 50? We're up to 50.
John, I might be more than that. I have a list, and it's my secondary job, John, is sending out giveaways when I get off Birds 365. I got a list of names, a list of addresses, a list of places I'm sending the shit. People want different sizes. I'm like, oh my goodness, mama me. But no, it's fun. So good stuff. We appreciate all you guys. Let's get to our commercial break. Before I do that, I want to tell you guys about the great people at BetUS. I've been showing you all season who's betting on the big game, everybody. YouTube 150 is your promo code, and it gives you a 150% sign-up bonus on your very first deposit, and you get 125% on your second and third deposit all up to $2,000. So deposit less and bet with more at BetUS. Go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. They have the fastest payouts in the industry, 24/7 customer support, and they'll even give you your own custom account manager. So big thanks to them for sponsoring the show today and all year long, the 2-hour show today. And we'll be back in 3 minutes, everybody, on Birds 365.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The following is a real testimonial from the father of a young injured victim.
I didn't think she was going to make it.
Major Perry's daughter was the victim of a horrific accident caused by someone else's negligence.
If you don't find the right counselor, law firm that you're looking for, you will get lost in the wilderness.
Badly injured? Call the Fritz and Bianculli Law Firm at 215-458-2222 and find out why they say, "We got this."
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
We noticed that there was mold creeping into our basement about a year and a half ago, and wanted to make sure that we were getting rid of the problem permanently. We actually reached out to several different contractors to get it resolved, and actually 2 of them recommended DryTech to us as a long-term solution. Other than the noise factor, we wouldn't even know that there was work being done on the basement level. It's really been a clean process for us.
Score and save this football season on your car insurance. Before the next game, save up to 40% on your auto insurance policy. That's right, 40% savings. Call an Audible this season and contact the Del Val Insurance Group. They're an advocate for you, not an insurance company. That means they'll get you the right coverage and save you up to 40%. Call managing partners Fran or Jim of Del Val Insurance, 215-354-0122, or score and save at dvigi.com. dvigi.com.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Welcome back in, everybody, to the Birds 365, a Tuesday edition of Philadelphia Eagles show. For those who are new listening to the show, we appreciate you being here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We are live every day, 8 to 10 a.m. on Birds 365 here on JAKIB Sports, the #1 Eagles show in the world that is here every single day to give you guys 2 hours of Eagles content. And then we're also live on the channel from 2 to 6 every day with the National Football Show hosted by Dan Cilia. So big thanks to everybody for being here. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoy the content. We appreciate that. John, I have a legacy question, okay?
Legacy.
Yes.
All right, let's go.
All right. And I will also welcome in our viewers to share some comments on this as well. Many of our great viewers are much older and more seasoned Eagle fans than I am, okay? If Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni are able to complete the task at hand, okay, and that's win the Super Bowl, where are they going to rank in terms of Eagles lore at quarterback and head coach? Because if you zoom out,
number one,
right?
Yeah, number 1 by a million miles.
In 5 years, they would be the greatest quarterback in Eagles history.
Yeah, just think about it. They will have beaten Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes on the biggest stage on top of winning a Super Bowl. Not only are you winning a Super Bowl,
and they've been there before, which shows other success. I mean, Andy Reid only went there
You are derailing a dynasty. You are the team that stopped a dynasty.
So Jalen Hurts is one win away from being the greatest quarterback in Philadelphia Eagles history.
Well, that wasn't what you asked me. You asked me I think that's a different question. You asked me about the coach quarterback combination. Because I think greatest of all time in anything, longevity is involved in that. I think he's on the path, but you got to play, a significant amount of time. And he's still a young quarterback. I think people forget. He's certainly on the path.
Right.
But you need that to me, that discussion involves longevity. And to me, Donovan McNabb is the best quarterback in Eagles history.
Yeah, but wouldn't the longevity be secondary to the success? Because McNabb might have done it longer, but Jalen Hurts has been here for 5 years, and 4 years. Years.
And if it continues on, that's why I said he's on the path. He's on the trajectory.
But even if he falls off, and he's been and let's say he wins Super Bowl 59, I mean, he won a Super Bowl and he lost a Super Bowl. It's already more than McNabb did, obviously, for this city. I'm not saying
everybody can have their own definition. I'm just giving you mine. But and I'm pretty consistent. Like, I don't rate players on how many Super Bowls they've won, because it takes a lot of things to be aligned to win a Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts is going to win a Super Bowl with the help of 46 others if they win. And believe me, if Saquon Barkley's not here, they're not winning a Super Bowl. If the offensive line is not here, they're not winning a Super Bowl. If Jalen Carter's not here, they're not winning a Super Bowl. If Zach Bond is not here, they're not winning a Super Bowl. Same thing for those players. And, if you want to take Saquon, we saw Saquon for 6 years in New York. All right, he ain't winning a Super Bowl without this offensive line and without Jalen Hurts. It works both ways, is what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, I don't rate. And Cilio asked me that question on like Marv Levy. Yeah, I get what other people think. I'm just telling you what I think. To me, it's much more impressive to be consistently good, like Marv Levy and those Bills teams were, making 4 consecutive Super Bowls, right, than to win one. It's never by luck, but if you look at the one I always go to is the Giants. The 9-7 Giants beat a perfect Patriots team up until that point. If they played that game 100 times, they probably lose at 99. Things happen. To me, to say, oh, the Giants won the Super Bowl, so they're better than Marv Levy's Bills. Fuck no. No way. So that's,
I don't know, man. Wait, listen. We had Jim Kelly on the show before. Those 4 Super Bowl losses eat him up more than any success he's had in this league. I mean, you answered the question. I'd rather have that than one Super Bowl. I think Jim Kelly would disagree.
No, that's not what I said. I said, to me, as an outsider, to me, that's more impressive. I realize players always want to see.
Right. So the sustained success element of it is impressive. Yeah, I see.
More impressive. I'm not that players want they want Super Bowls. Fans want, obviously, Super Bowl's the be all end all. I think more people should be able to see both sides of that conversation, though. There's a shooting star, and then there's, maybe it's a little bit dimmer, but there's the star that's always there.
Right.
Those Bills.
Call it the North Star for the sake of the conversation.
And look, this Eagles team, but by the way, that's not even what I'm talking about. This Eagles team has had better sustained success than just about anybody but Kansas City in this era.
Yeah.
So they're not the 9-7 New York Giants. They're the 17-3 Philadelphia Eagles. Although they're playing the 17-2 Kansas City Chiefs. So,
and they're really the 17-1, if we're being real.
Yeah, exactly.
They pulled everybody in the game. John, look, this Chiefs team is super interesting because how many times this year did we hear, oh, Mahomes doesn't look the same. They're not that good. They win every game close. And here they are again, back in the Super Bowl. It's like, I don't care what people say about what this thing looks like in Kansas City. They know how to win football games, man. And they're 17-1 with another Super Bowl berth. So should be a pretty unbelievable game, though, Johnny Mac. Should be a spectacle, man.
Yeah, I think the Eagles have the better roster. I'm pretty honest about that. But boy, basically when the Eagles beat the Rams, I told people on the post-game show they're winning the NFC Championship game. I am not in that category for this game.
Right.
It is very tough to bet against Andy Reid, and not that I'm betting, but it is very tough to go against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid in a big situation. But the Eagles are equipped to do it. I think they have more good players. And they were equipped to do it last time, but they didn't do it.
Good stuff, Johnny Mac. We appreciate that breakdown as we now prep for this Super Bowl matchup. Super Bowl 59 is going to be a pretty unbelievable thing. I told you guys Johnny Mac will be heading down there next week, so we will break it all down for you. And then we're going to have Caden Steele coming up next here on Birds 365. John, real quick, I just want to revisit a conversation that we had earlier. I know I'm choppy with it. I should have asked you this at the time, but I forgot to ask you, and it just popped in my brain. If Kellen Moore were to go to the Saints, who do you think they would replace? I know you said Kevin Patullo, you think?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like last year, to me, it's the obvious on-staff candidate. And I don't think Nick Sirianni had the cachet to do it last year. In fact, I know he didn't. This year, obviously, he would. Now, the only thing I would say is maybe he doesn't want him to be the offensive coordinator because he's the closest. He's his sort of consigliere, so to speak.
Right.
He's the closest. He's his right-hand man, does a lot of stuff that is sort of, again, the leadership, logistical stuff that a lot of people don't think about as the associate head coach, along with the passing game coordinator. But I know he trusts him implicitly. So if he wants him to be offensive coordinator, I think that's the obvious move. Then if they have to, I don't think there's anybody else they're going to elevate on the staff right now. So if not, they would have to go outside the organization. And it's late. So that's another reason why all the hot candidates are snapped up by this point. Marcus Brady, somebody who's been here, former Nick knows him from Indianapolis, former offensive coordinator. Maybe he could come back. Tommy Reese, he's very close to. I always thought Tommy would end up here, but he got the Cleveland job. So again,
everyone says Frank Reich. I don't see that.
I don't see that. No.
I think the organization wants to move forward, not go backwards. I mean,
yeah. Plus, it's a weird, Nick considers him his mentor.
I said that a couple of weeks ago when Celia was talking about Frank Reich. I'm like, that would be a weird dynamic where now he comes back to work for Nick. I don't know how that would work out, but interesting stuff there, Johnny Mac. John, I'm going to I just wanted to do that real quick, but I will ask you this about the Chiefs, because the Chiefs are really interesting in this, John. They don't have one great playmaker or one. They have a collection of talent that Andy just figures out how to make do. Now they have Travis Kelce. I'm not taking away from Travis Kelce. He's one of the greatest tight ends of all time, maybe the greatest tight end of all time in NFL history. But they got Hollywood Brown. They got Xavier Worthy. They got Isaiah Pacheco. They got DeAndre Hopkins. They have who am I missing? They got Kareem Hunt.
Oh, they're like a three-headed. They got a three. Kareem Hunt, Samaje, P. Ryan, who got the big play to sort of seal the deal against Buffalo. Pacheco was hurt early in the season. Hasn't been the same guy. So, yeah, receiver, even Juju's back. He made some big plays. Justin Watson plays, although I don't think I see anybody. I don't watch all the Chiefs games, but nobody drops the football more than Justin Watson. So I wouldn't be too concerned about him. Worthy is obviously the explosive guy, unbelievable speed. They'll use him on manufactured plays, misdirections, try to get him in space. DeAndre Hopkins was a big pickup because he's just, he catches everything. He's the exact opposite of not what he once was, but tremendous hands. So you're right. They go about it a different way. They piecemeal it. Noah Gray, the second tight end, is really good. So they play a lot of two tight ends because they're both really good, Kelsey and Gray, and Mahomes trusts them. Offensive line is weird. Great interior, struggle at tackle to the point they've impacted the interior. They're playing Joe Thuney at left tackle now, and he's normally the left guard, one of the best left guards in football. And now they're playing him at left tackle because they've had so many issues at left tackle this season. And they put in Mike Caliendo. So they've gotten better at tackle because Thuney, but he's not a real tackle.
Right.
So
he has been beat. I mean, he can be beat.
Yeah, he's doing it out of necessity. Now, normally they have Creed Humphrey, Joe Thuney, and Trey Smith. That's the best interior offensive line in football. But again, they've moved Thuney outside because they've had to, and put Mike Caliendo inside, who's not very good. And then Jawan Taylor's a penalty machine for all the people that don't say the Chiefs never get penalty. Well, Jawan Taylor gets a lot of penalties. So they're not good outside. They're generally good inside. Humphrey's great. Defensively, I love Trent McDuffie. I think he's the best cornerback in football.
He is phenomenal. I like him a lot too.
I think he's the best cover corner in football.
That's a big statement. Best corner in football?
Yeah. And, he won the game with a blitz last week. So, I say this about blitzing too. Spagnuolo blitzes in big situations. There's a big difference. And I was talking about that with Jeff Kerr. There's a big difference between the Kansas City blitz and somebody else blitzing. And then we all conflate all these numbers together. Like, I don't give a shit that Carolina blitzes. All right, blitz all day. Spagnuolo draws up these blitzes where two guys are getting free on the biggest spot of the game. 2 free rushers on Josh Allen. Completely free rushes.
Did you see that right tackle, though, on that play?
Yeah, well, obviously.
Oh, my God.
Obviously, you're getting beat.
It was bad. He didn't even get beat, John. There's a guy, one edge is here, one guy's here.
Well, they don't know what to do. That's
Josh Allen hikes the ball. The tackle literally blocks nobody, and 2 guys on both sides of him run right by him.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out in his mind what to do.
Yeah, which one to block, and he didn't think.
And he didn't block either. Which is, the rule is you block the one closest to the quarterback, and then it's on the quarterback to make the hot read. But yeah, it's easier said than done. But obviously the Eagles are better equipped than anybody else to handle that kind of stuff. So it's an interesting matchup. And then you always got to bring up Chris Jones, man.
Yeah.
Like Chris Jones, this is the one week where you say, yeah, we got Jalen Carter. They got Chris Jones. And that's what you want Jalen Carter to be.
Is that the only defensive tackle left in the NFL that's better than Jalen Carter at this point?
Probably, in my mind.
Talent-wise?
I don't even know if he's – I don't know if he's more talented. I don't think anybody's more talented than Jalen Carter.
That's fair. Jalen Carter is supremely talented.
But he's a better player now.
Yeah, Chris Jones is legit, no doubt.
And they have great linebackers. They're 3 deep at linebacker. Nick Bolton, if Eagles fans remember from the first game. Drew Tranquil's really good. And Leo Chanel, something about Wisconsin, not linebackers. He's a Wisconsin guy, like Zach Bond, like Andrew Van Ginkel. They're all awesome. Secondary's good. McDuffie, the best, but Justin Reed's having a good year at safety. Yeah, really good team.
No doubt about it.
Good team.
Yep, no doubt about it.
I do think, because I do think the Eagles are more talented, but then on the other end of the spectrum, like I think people go too far and say, well, it's all Mahomes, it's all Andy. No, they got a bunch of good players. A bunch of really good players. Humphrey might be the best center in football in the conversation.
He's top 3. He's up there with Ragnow and
yeah. Jones might be the best defensive tackle in football. McDuffie might be the best corner in football. Thuney's top 5 guard. They got a lot of good players. And Kelsey, obviously, and Noah Grant. They probably had 2 of the best, I don't know, 13, 15, certainly, maybe top 10. 2 of the top 10 tight ends. Kelsey's not what he once was, but he's still good. And Noah Gray's really good. But they don't have receivers and they don't have Saquon Barkley, obviously.
No.
Nobody does.
They don't have a lot of explosive plays on offense. They're
No.
great at situational football.
Yeah. So they don't have the splash guys on offense like the Eagles do. But they're really good. Really, and obviously really sound.
No doubt about it. Good stuff there, Johnny Mac. We got Caden Steele coming up here on the show, so I'll get to our commercial break. We appreciate everybody for tuning in today. I am jacked up. All right, I'm now I'm ready for this week to go quick, and I don't think it's going to go very quick. So we will be prepping all week long here on Birds 365. We'll be prepping all week long on the channel. So big thanks to everybody for being here. Let's get to our commercial break. Before I do that, let me tell you guys about the great people at BetUS. Go and check them out. You can see the promo code on your screen. It's YouTube 150. Use that promo code to get 150% deposit or 150% sign-up bonus on your very first deposit, and you get 125% on your second and third deposit, all up to $2,000. So deposit less and bet with more at BetUS. Go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. Caden Steele coming up next on Birds 365.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The following is a real testimonial from the father of a young injured victim.
I didn't think she was going to make it.
Major Perry's daughter was the victim of a horrific accident caused by someone else's negligence.
If you don't find the right counselor, law firm that you're looking for, you will get lost in the wilderness.
Badly injured? Call the Fritz and Bianculli Law Firm at 215-458-2222 and find out why they say, "We got this."
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
We noticed that there was mold creeping into our basement about a year and a half ago, and wanted to make sure that we were getting rid of the problem permanently. We actually reached out to several different contractors to get it resolved, and actually 2 of them recommended DryTech to us as a long-term solution. other than the noise factor, we wouldn't even know that there was work being done on the basement level. It's really been a clean process for us.
Score and save this football season on your car insurance. Before the next game, save up to 40% on your auto insurance policy. That's right, 40% savings. Call an audible this season and contact the Del Val Insurance Group. They're an advocate for you, not an insurance company. That means they'll get you the right coverage and save you up to 40%. Call managing partners Fran or Jim of Del Val Insurance, 215-354-0122, or score and save at dvigi.com. dvigi.com.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Welcome back in, everybody, to Birds 365, a Tuesday edition, as we are now in preparation mode for Super Bowl 59, a rematch of Super Bowl 57, the Eagles' second Super Bowl appearance in 3 years. Unprecedented success for the Philadelphia Eagles in this era so far under Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni. Impressive stuff for these two guys. Johnny Mac waiting on Caden Steele. I'll see where he is or when he can join us. But there is something, John, that's going to be prevalent, and you've already mentioned it on this show, and credit to you for always being ahead of the game. But this is going to be something that will be talked about and beaten into a dead horse in the next 2 weeks, and that's Vic Fangio's record versus Patrick Mahomes. And I'm with you where it's like he was on a shitty Denver team, but
0-6, I think.
On the flip side, I think it's 0-8. On the flip side of it.
But 0-6 with Denver, I think.
Oh, 0-6 with Denver. Got it. What does he need to do to slow down this offense? We just talked about the offense a little bit before the break and how they're versatile and that they have so many dang different pieces. What do you do to slow down? You got to be disciplined, I feel like, against this defense. You got to really cover the whole field because Mahomes will use everybody.
Well, that's the Eagles thing, man. That's Vic's thing. Discipline on defense. So, I mean, that's always baked into what he wants to accomplish. But, yeah, I mean, I just don't think he has the horses. That's why I don't value stats like that. I just don't. Now he's got the horses, and now we'll see. Obviously, if he fails in the Super Bowl, he'll be called out for it. And the defense, as spectacular as they've been this year, will be called out for it. That's the way it works. But I don't care what he did in Denver. That's one where I could see if Nick gets that question, he's like, what does that have to do with this group? And he's right. And so that part of it. And by the way, Caden, I didn't remind him, so I just texted him. So hopefully, but if he doesn't show, that's my fault. So I want to take I want to fall on the I want to fall on the sword there. But yeah, I don't value those stats because it's such a small sample size and doesn't take into account. If you think about it that way and say, well, Denver wasn't very good, and you might want to criticize Vic as a head coach. All right. Wasn't great, but that's not his job this weekend. Next weekend, sorry.
We'll see how it plays out. I will say there's got to be a benefit for the Chiefs, though, having seen him that many times, right? Even if he's got different players. I mean, his scheme is.
Well, I mean, the scheme, yeah. But everybody's seen the scheme ad nauseum. So many people have copied it. I've talked about that for many times. I mean, yeah, it's become easier for a lot of quarterbacks who understand, like Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, in general, it's become a lot easier than what it once was because so many people have copied it. But again, you can see not everybody has the success with it that Vic has. So, and I think most of it has to do with the teaching part of it, not the scheme part of it, because, people can write, like I said, you can go online right now. You can Google it and find all of Nick's Vic Fangio's schemes and what he likes to do. You can get actual playbooks. You can get actual diagrams. Now go teach it. That's the difficult part. Anybody can copy it. Can you teach it? And he's done a pretty good job teaching it this year.
The clear advantage, though, for Andy Reid in Kansas City here, John. I know I like Vic Fangio too. Clear advantage here. Andy Reid on 2 weeks prep going up against Vic Fangio and the defense that he's probably seen more times than he can count. I like advantage Kansas City when it comes to the matchup of Fangio versus Reid.
That's fine. I mean, Andy might.
What do you like in the matchup? Do you agree with me, or are you going to give Vic the slight edge?
No, I'm gonna default to Andy. Andy might be the best coach ever. So, I mean, Vic's one of the best. As I said, the best way to describe it is Vic's going to give Andy more trouble than usual, and Andy's going to give Vic more trouble than usual. But I mean, Andy Reid is one of the best coaches of all time. Maybe the best coach.
Now, Vic gets 2 weeks too, but who's better off 2 weeks? For somebody who have to look up, who's got a better record?
History says Andy's the best bye week coach of all time. But, you know, again, it's different when you're a coordinator versus being a head coach. And
yeah,
nobody's going to compare Andy Reid to Vic Fangio as a head coach. So, I mean, but, you know, all right, it's Andy Reid. You got to beat Andy Reid. You got to beat Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, man. I'm already getting a little nervous, Johnny Mac. Andy Reid and Mahomes. Holy shit.
Seize the opportunity. The opportunity.
I said yesterday, John, I respect the opponent. We're a talk show. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about what they do good, what they do bad. Every matchup will be talked about, every player, every coach, you name it. We're going to talk about it all in the next 2 weeks. But, boy, if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, if this isn't a time to channel that rat poison and block out the noise, I don't want to hear. If I'm that Eagles team,
I just wrote about that yesterday.
I don't want to hear a fucking peep about 3 straight greatest of all time, Andy Reid, Pat. I don't give a shit. I wouldn't put my opponent on a pedestal at all. I would go in there with the mindset to dominate your box, and I don't give a shit who's over there. I want to win. I want to win my battle.
That's certainly how that. You know, the Eagles, I wrote about this yesterday, specifically with Nick and Jalen. You know, for the most part, both of them claim to block out the outside noise, but, you know, that they don't. You know, they don't. And when, you know, what I wrote was when the winning lines up with the aesthetics and it looks good, both Nick and Jalen, they can't help themselves. They're not Barry Sanders handing the ball to the nearest official. That's why they're Gronk with the massive spike,
right?
You know, the super spike. They can't help themselves. You know, Jalen is more understated. Obviously, he's not as verbal. You know, keeps things close to the vest, but he came out with that. I guess he let me out of my straitjacket a little bit today, you know, with the smile, prodding people. And then, of course, Sirianni, being the far more verbose of the two, brought up Joe Montana and Tom Brady tangents when talking about Jalen. But everybody needs some, which he's 100% right. But everybody needs a supporting cast to be successful. And he said, you know, tell me a quarterback that's won like that has shit around him, which he's right. But they hear all the outside noise, all of it,
Block out. Block it out. Rat poison.
They hear all the rat poison, all of it. I'm sorry. They show it every time. Every time. And by the way, that's what I said. If it works, use it. I said this about Doug Peterson in 2017, 2018, because that underdog bullshit was bullshit. And I say it about this team with the disrespect card, because it's bullshit. But if it works, use it. Use it.
What works? You're putting your opponent on a pedestal immediately.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the disrespect. They were talking. I was just
They're not
talking about
disrespect. They're a 1.5 point dog in this game, and I don't think they're being. Who the fuck is disrespecting the Eagles?
nobody. That's my point.
I
agree
know
with
it
you.
is. I'm
They
now.
spin
All right, I'm
it.
in full agreement with you. Who the fuck
Yes.
is disrespecting the Eagles?
They think Jalen's disrespecting. How many times you fucking hear
Well, I will
that?
say
You
that.
think
You know, here's where this comes from. All right, one of our great viewers yesterday on Twitter, John, sent me a clip of Colin Cowherd, and I like Colin Cowherd. I really do. I think Colin Cowherd does a really good job. He's got great staying power as a host. Does a good, entertaining show every day. Don't agree with every opinion. Obviously, never will. But he said yesterday on the show, the Eagles might not even get in the red zone. And I'm like, dude, they just put up 55.
Yeah, but this is exactly, again, people can read this, si.com/NFL/Eagles. That's what I'm talking about. What works what works for them is being fueled by these, and I call them engagement grifters. Maybe I'm too harsh, but somebody like Kyle Cowherd, you've seen it with Orlovsky all year. One week he says this is the worst offense in the history of mankind. The next week, oh, this is unbelievable. And everybody forgets what he says the week. But if it works for you, it works for you. But you're being snowed and you're conflating the engagement grifters with disrespect. Everybody disrespects Jalen Hurts. Nobody who covers Jalen Hurts on a daily basis disrespects Jalen Hurts. Nobody. And Jalen knows that. But if it works to listen to Colin Cowherd, you're bringing him up. That's you, or Orlovsky or Chase Daniel, one of these guys who says something, Chris Sims. They say one thing one week, and the next week they're saying the exact opposite. And they don't care because that they get rewarded for it. And people say, yeah, Chase finally got it right. Or yeah. And then if they lose the Super Bowl, Orlovsky will be back saying, oh, Jalen Hurts stinks. And you'll say, oh, he's being disrespected. I mean, it works, so I don't blame him, but it's bullshit. Nobody disrespects Jalen Hurts.
All right, at Philadelphia, I love you. Okay, if you were born and raised here like I am, you're allowed to take shots at where you were born and raised. I find it ironic that the city that screams and chants, no one likes us and we don't care, is the most preyed on city because they react anytime anyone says anything that's not positive about them. It's like clockwork for these hosts, man.
It is a plan by these hosts and networks because they know how passionate the fan base is, and they know they lose their minds, and they do it purposefully to ignite a volatile and passionate fan base.
Yep.
They do it purposefully. It's an act.
Look,
not for everybody. But there's certain people, and I shouldn't even have mentioned names, but they're obvious. They say one thing one week, and they say the exact opposite the next week. Look, if you're falling for that and you get upset by it, I mean, yeah, you should realize it's a grift. And you shouldn't be upset by it because they're just doing it to engage, get views, get clicks, get viewers, whatever. And that's part of it. That's unfortunately, that's the era we're in. But people in the NFL and people who cover the NFL seriously do not disrespect Jalen Hurts. Doesn't mean you can't criticize him either, but they do not disrespect Jalen Hurts. They just don't.
John, I want to turn the page and talk about another player that I think has made a big difference in this team this year, and it could have a chance to make a big difference in this Super Bowl, and that's Nolan Smith. I think he was great this year. I think he's become a little bit of I don't want to say star yet, but this postseason, he's really come alive in the biggest stage, playing like a star right now. Nolan Smith is on a tear, Johnny Mac. What have you seen from him? What have you enjoyed or taken away from covering him the last two seasons? I think it's been an interesting story. It was kind of was kind of the undercard because of obviously the Jalen Carter draft pick, but he's really turning the corner, man. He's been really good for this team, and I think I don't want to say it yet, but looks like he could be a replacement for Hassan Reddick.
Yeah, if again, we had that discussion a couple of days ago. It depends what you mean by Hassan Reddick. If you mean Hassan Reddick in 2022, probably not.
No, I just mean a really productive, really good edge rusher that can get home.
Yeah, I'm not going to go that far, but I will say, for a team that had, Reggie White, and you want to go back there, of course they didn't, part of it is you got to win playoff games. But even Hassan Reddick, all-time record, Eagles postseason sacks, Nolan Smith.
Yep. That's pretty sick.
And again, sacks are not the be-all, end-all. Anybody who watches this show, I try.
He's good against the run too. He's become good.
No, yes. But all I'm trying to say is, most teams are sliding toward Jalen Carter. Not most. All teams are sliding towards Jalen Carter. It's one of the reasons Milton Williams has had a great season. And it's a difficult decision. The Eagles are going to have a difficult decision to make on Milton Williams because he's made a lot of money with this season. And Josh Sweat as well. Most teams still are worried about Josh more than Nolan. So that's the next step, But right now, and we talked about Brandon Graham earlier, that injury, the silver lining to that injury was they had to play Nolan Smith, and he proved he can play. Without a doubt, he is a contributor on a Super Bowl team and a significant contributor on a Super Bowl team. He's handled the workload. He's young. He's in great shape. He can play all these snaps. He's been one of the great stories of the second half of this season. What his ceiling is to be determined, because I do think people will come back and adjust to him now that he's playing a lot. I always say the NFL is a copycat league, but it's a slow-moving copycat league. And most of the drastic change, you see it with quarterbacks, you saw it with C.J. Stroud, you'll see it next year with Jaden Daniels, most notably. People will go in the offseason. That's what everybody, certainly in this division, will look at Jaden Daniels, what he does well, try to take away as much as that as possible, and he's going to have to adjust to the adjustments made to him. Same thing with Nolan Smith. People will go in and say, all right, this guy really popped on us, what he do, what's he like to do, and they'll make adjustments, and there's a long way to go, but it's all positive for Nolan Smith, and those adjustments aren't coming to the offseason, so he's got a chance to make a statement again, same as everybody else, against a dynasty. And if you add to that sack record against the Kansas City Chiefs, and by the way, they got shitty tackles, he should have a chance, as I mentioned. Yeah, quite a sophomore season for a lot of people who had written him off because of not even a poor rookie season. Didn't play, didn't get an opportunity, really.
Right.
But I always go back to that draft night. I've told that story on this show. Just that, when they drafted Jalen Carter, I'm like, I was pretty adamant he was the best player in that draft. Anybody who's watching the show, I said, he's the most gifted player in this draft by far. Now, obviously, quarterbacks get pushed up the board, all that nonsense, but he was the most talented player in that draft, and the Eagles ended up getting him at 9 or wherever it was. And I just texted a GM friend of mine and said, what do you think? And he didn't get back to me. And I said, not a big deal. I didn't expect him to. A lot of shit going on. And I'd figure he'd text me in a couple of days. He texted me after the Eagles got Nolan Smith at 30. And it was just are you effing kidding me? Or something like that. I still have the message. I'll look it up in the break. It was something like, are you effing kidding me?
Can the GM be named or no?
No. But it's like, why are these teams giving the Eagles these great players? And in the case of Jalen Carter, we know why. But, a lot of people, if you go back to that draft, a lot of people, the Eagles started that draft. Where did they start? I don't know. It's like 12 or something. I forget. But a lot of people had the Eagles going with Nolan Smith at high in the draft.
Yeah. John, hindsight's 2020. If you go back and look at mock drafts, people were saying, if we're not able to get Carter,
yeah, that's what I mean.
Take Nolan up that high. Like the hindsight on drafting is on the NFL draft is always a funny thing.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, and part of it is you don't get a feel for how NFL teams really feel about prospects. In the case of Nolan, it was size based. Let's be honest. A lot of people concerned about his size on the edge. Pix talks about it every time. Every time you ask about Nolan Smith, he throws that in there. He's like, he's really small for being an edge defender. So there was some concern there. But, yeah, I mean, a lot of people had, because the thought was somebody would take a shot at Carter before 10. And nobody did. The Eagles moved up one spot, but so that's bad enough by the rest of the NFL. And they're paying for it. They're paying for it.
Yep.
But if you think about, so I'm just trying to pull up this draft. Now, there were great picks behind. That was the great Detroit draft. So you had Gibbs at 12. You had Campbell was
18, right?
Whatever he was. Yeah. 18, correct. And then they had Laporta at 34 and Branch at 45. Think about those 4 picks. But, right ahead, it seems like the New Orleans boy, Howie Roseman owns Mickey Loomis. Brian Breezy was picked at 29. Okay. Miles Murphy was picked at 28. He was a defensive end. And Anton Harrison, an offensive tackle, 27. Mozzie Smith, who's been a disaster for the Cowboys, at 26. Dalton Kincaid, pretty good player at 25, so you're not going to criticize that. With Buffalo, 24, Deontay Banks. I think he's a good player. Jordan Addison's a good player. It was 23. 22 was Flowers, a really good player. Quentin Johnson, 21, disaster for the Chargers. By the way, there was a run of 3 receivers, and the Chargers had the first of them, and they picked the wrong one because Flowers and Addison are great, and Johnson drops everything. Johnston. Yeah, there was a run of 4 receivers. Actually, Smith and Jigba, Quentin Johnston, Zay Flowers, and Jordan Addison. And only one of them stinks. Good job, Chargers.
Good stuff there, John. All right, John, I want to turn the page on Nolan Smith for a second. I do think you broke it down well there. I'm going to give you a stat line, and then I'm going to tell you why I believe we are going to win the Super Bowl. And you can tell me if I'm grossly overreacting, which I'm 95% sure you will.
Yeah. Well, when you said stat line, you're grossly overreacting. Well, but go on.
7 carries for 16 yards. Do you know what that represents, John?
I do not.
7 carries for 16 yards.
That wasn't Jalen this week because I think it was 10 for 16.
I'm sure if you thought about it enough, you would come up with it.
No, because I don't pay attention to stats that much.
Okay, that was Miles Sanders in the Eagles Super Bowl 57 versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, that was what your 1,200-yard runner gave you in Super Bowl 57. Now, I'm going to make a bold prediction here, which might not be so bold. Saquon Barkley is going to run for a lot more than 16 yards in the Super Bowl.
Well,
that
agree.
running game, we are going to be able to control this game with Saquon Barkley as opposed to 7 carries for 16 yards and a fumble by Miles Sanders.
Well, I agree with you, but I do think there's valuable context there, and that Miles hurt his knee really at the end of the season, was playing with a bad knee, had to put a brace on his knee. Wasn't the same. Had a great season. Wasn't the same down the stretch. Then he broke his hand on the first play of the Super Bowl. So there was a lot of context. Like if that's going to happen to, if Saquon is going to get hurt on the first play of the Super Bowl, I mean, that's going to impact him. But yeah, he's not, and he's going to have a great game like he always has a great game, and that should be a distinct change. Kenny Gainwell had to play a lot in that game. They didn't run it much, as I recall. It was more of a shootout. And again, Jalen had maybe his best game ever. Unfortunately, with the one fumble. Might have been his best game ever. In fact, I would say it was his best game ever. It was unbelievable in that game for people that don't remember. It's the best player on the field against one of the best players of all time. And people, Mahomes obviously let him back and had all the touchdowns, whatever he had, and the touchdowns late with the corn dog motion that the Eagles didn't handle well and all that stuff. But as I recall, I don't think Patrick, I'm pretty sure he didn't even hit 200 yards passing. I'm pretty sure.
Mahomes did not. No, not in Super Bowl 57. He didn't.
Yeah. It wasn't like impactful big plays down the field. Pacheco had some big runs. He had the bad punt by Aaron Cepas. He had the big punt return by Tony, which was a killer because, boy, he's not a good player. So, yeah, I know. But Miles got hurt on the first play of the game. I don't know if people forget that, but he got hurt on the first play of the game. And he was hurt coming in. And by the way, I'm not, Saquon's just better than Miles Sanders.
Way better. Yeah, they're not comparable. My point was, though, that with a running game, I think this becomes a different game. We didn't have as much of a running game in that game. Saquon and Kenny combined for 14 carries for like 30 yards. It was really an ugly performance by them. And I think Jalen Hurts had 70 yards, I want to say, rushing in that game. And I know he had the 3 touchdown runs in a Super Bowl, which is pretty impressive by him. But I think with the running game, John, in this game, it becomes a different ball game, like it has every game this year. But if
Jim Schwartz, baby, I always bring it up, and I'll bring it up again here. All games have personalities. It depends on the personality of the game. If Kansas City's cooking, you got to keep up with them. Now they're not playing that style, so I agree with you. It's probably going to be more of a grind it out, running type of game. So it's going to be different than Super Bowl 57. And if we want to go back to 52, now that was a shootout to end all shootouts. But, all games have personalities. You saw it in the NFC Championship game. The Eagles scored 55 points. 55 points. Now, they ran it in, 7 times? But again, tush pushes, other than the Saquon 60-yard run, that it was more of a he only touched it 15 times. When's the last time he touched it 15 times? When's the last time the Eagles threw it 28 times? I'd have to look. They don't throw it 28 times for the Eagles since week 5 is like, Brady thrown it 55 times because they had some success. There was a different personality to the game than there typically is. All games have personalities. Great assessment from the great Jim Schwartz.
There you go. Good stuff there, John. Let's talk about that real quick. We have about 8 minutes left in the show here. Maybe we'll catch up with Caden later on in the week. We had plenty of Super Bowl talk.
Yeah, I got to take the hit on that one, so don't blame Caden. But we'll try to get him. I was supposed to. I'm not good with the reminders. People tell me to remind them, and I'm like, yeah, I'll remind you, and then I forget.
I got so much shit going on.
Yeah,
I go 1 minute at a time in my days.
Exactly. I got so much shit going on. And I always say it's my fault. I say I will remind you, and I never do.
1 minute at a time, John. People try and have me plan out a week ahead. I'm like, man, I am nowhere close to that yet. I will talk to you when I get a little closer to that. John, Kellen Moore versus Steve Spagnuolo in this game. Kellen and Jalen versus Steve Spags. That's a pretty good matchup. Spags is obviously a very aggressive coordinator, a very aggressive defensive mind. What do you think of that matchup? What do you think the scheme is to try and, have an answer to some of Spagnuolo's blitzes that we've talked about are so dang creative and,
I mean, at big spots, you're getting blitz. So, I mean, that's got to be the focus this week. And it hasn't been a strength. And Jeff will put up 40 stats that say something else, but it hasn't been a strength of the Eagles to get the football out quickly. And they got to figure it out. And I think it has more to do with the quarterback than the offensive coordinator, to be honest, because it's coming and everybody knows it's coming. And, the best way to avoid it is to dominate like they did against Washington.
Right.
Like if it's a 1-score game and it's 4th and 5, then you're Josh Allen. Now, I think the Eagles are better equipped. You mentioned the tackle missing. You have Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata. But those guys are human beings like everybody else. And if you send an overload blitz with 3 guys, well, they can't handle all 3 of them. So it's on the quarterback and the receivers to make that adjustment and run hot routes and get the football out. Can the Eagles do that? Sure, anybody could do it in a big spot, but their history is pretty impressive when it comes to bringing that pressure in big spots and creating desperation situations. And with Josh Allen, I mean, that looks ugly on paper. Dalton Kincaid should have caught the football. So, there's live by the blitz, die by the blitz. We've been talking all of it. By the way, I saw Jeff Kerr put up that stat that Andy, the Chiefs are 8-0. Patrick Mahomes is 8-0 against Big Fangio. And the first guy, I don't remember his name because this is on X, but the first guy, well, that's because the big blitzes a lot. I'm like, come on, dude. Do you ever watch football? Ever? I don't know. That bothered me.
John, with the blitzing from Spags, you put more of that on Kellen to have built in the offense to have the answers, or is that a thing where Jalen has to get to the line, identify
what the answers are there? The answers are built in. Nothing's getting built in a week.
I'm not saying they're not already built in. I'm saying, is that a case of Kellen having certain play calls that counter that, or is that Jalen getting to the line of scrimmage and checking into a hot route or something to counter if he sees a blitz coming off the right or the left side?
Well, it's on the quarterback to identify where the blitz is coming from, but that's built into the offense. Like if every concept is designed with not necessarily a hot route, the old wedding crashers. Like nobody calls a hot route. I've said this how many times? Big Vince Vaughn's going hot route. Like nobody's calling a hot route as in the huddle. That's something the quarterback has to decipher, as Tom Brady has explained multiple times. Yeah, that's something you do on the field. Now, it's built into the concept of the offense to make sure you have that answer for any blitz or every blitz. But yeah, you have to identify it. You have to understand where it's coming from. And that's easier said than done, which is why the Chiefs and Steve has been so successful. But nobody's calling a hot route in the history of football,
You
except
and Seth, you and Seth Joyner used to
except Vince Vaughn.
You used to argue about this on our post game show last
There's
year.
no argument with Seth. Seth knows that. He's not arguing about that. Nobody calls a hot route in the huddle. But that's silly. Why would you call a hot route in the huddle? Now, first of all, you have to be Kreskin to understand their blitz, and they might not. What if you call a hot route in the huddle and they're in cover 2? Well, you're in fucking trouble. I mean, what does that even mean? Call a hot route. Nobody calls a hot route. I mean, that I don't recall Seth ever arguing that.
Yes, you don't remember? I remember it like yesterday.
I do not. I do not believe.
John, you came on the postgame show and Seth Jordan said, "Why is there no hot routes in the offense?" I remember it like it was yesterday.
No, but that's not what Seth. That's not what Seth was saying. He's saying there's no hot routes in the offense. Now, where I disagree with, they're built in. You have to use them. Nobody's calling. That's what my point. Nobody. So what he was saying is, and now I recall it. He's not saying they're calling hot routes. He's saying there's no hot routes in the offense, meaning the Eagles didn't have anything built into the offense, which I disagree with.
Right.
And that's where we disagree.
They weren't using them.
Yes, exactly. But he wasn't arguing. Seth 1,000% knows that nobody calls a hot route out of the huddle. 1,050% knows that. That's all I was saying.
Good stuff, Johnny Mac. We got Nick Sirianni talking today. What time's he speaking? And give me a question, John. Give me what's on John's mind when they call on John McMullen, you're next. What do you got today? What do you want to talk to Nick Sirianni about in the presser today?
That's a good question. I haven't thought about it. Anybody have any ideas? Because I'm idea'd out.
Well, it's not like he's going to give you a good response anyway, so you might as well get creative.
I did. It was a nice moment I saw. Did not realize it happened, but FaceTimed Nakobe Dean.
Oh yeah, that was great
on the field. Nakobe wasn't there because he had surgery, so he didn't get to. He didn't get to. In the revelry. So that's when we talk about injuries and we talk about start. Like, that's what I mean. People forget Nakobe Dean's a starter, but he's on injured reserve. People forget. Even the Eagles, as healthy as they've been,
right?
And now guys are banged up. Cam's banged up. Landon's banged up. Jalen's banged up. But same thing with Kansas City. When you play this many games, guys are going to be banged up. But when you lose somebody in Nakobe Dean and what he's meant to this team. Glad Nick took the time to do that. So that was kind of an interesting moment. But Oren Burks has played really well.
Yeah, he had a good NFC Championship game, Oren Burks.
Yeah. I'm surprised by just how well he stepped in, which is another testament to Vic Fangio, because he gets these guys ready to go. And we've seen it at corner with Isaiah Rodgers. Kaylee Ringo had to come in for 9-10 snaps against the Rams. Oren Burks, at linebacker, getting Nolan Smith up to speed once Brandon went down. Been pretty impressive.
Here's something you can ask Nick. Say, how has your experience from the 22 Super Bowl, which brought you to tears at the anthem, what have you learned from that moment to be better prepared for the Super Bowl this time around? I think that's a good question, no?
Well, I wouldn't go heavy on the tears, but
yeah, I know. But I mean, it was obviously an emotional day and an emotional moment for Nick. I think he's aware of that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they lost the game because he was over emotional. I think they lost.
No, I don't either. Yeah.
I think they lost the game because they didn't communicate well in the back seven. That's why they lost the game.
Johnny Mac, good stuff, brother. We appreciate you coming in. Bob wants you to ask about the Kellen Moore interview. I don't know. Nick is going to give a
distraction. He's answered that 15 times, by the way, Bob.
Yeah,
it's not a
Bob
distraction.
wasn't here at the start of the show, Bob. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit, but all right, Johnny Mac,
it's not a distraction. That's how I'll leave. Kellen had the day off yesterday. For those who don't know, the whole team did, coaches and players. So he's got plenty of prep. They won't even start on that. You know, obviously the coaches are back today. They'll start game planning. The players, they haven't even put out a schedule yet. My guess is they're going to do a little bit of practice Thursday and Friday, but we'll see when the schedule comes in.
Johnny Mac, great show, brother. We will talk to you tomorrow. Is Mike Gill returned from Thailand yet? Where the heck is Mike Gill?
No, I don't believe he has. So I'll
what did
try
he
to
say?
get
He was
PLG.
returning. He said he was returning for the Super Bowl. Was it the week of the Super Bowl?
No, it's yeah, week of the Super Bowl, because he's going down for Radio Row. So
Brian Fleming says Mike Gill is a woman now.
Boy, come on, people. Thailand is an actual real country where not everybody is a lady boy. Come on.
John, narratives are narratives, my friend.
Well,
This
that's
is
why,
what-
that's why the term ugly American exists. You know, when you start to downgrade these countries, a lot of people go to Thailand. It's big European vacation destination. It's beautiful there. And
John,
I'm not talking about
we're the greatest country on
lady.
earth. I don't care how many people are mad that we call them lady boys over there.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, not everybody. Probably too many, but not everybody.
All right, Johnny Mac, good show, brother. I will talk to you tomorrow on Birds 365 as we continue to inch closer to Super Bowl 59 and the great rematch between the Eagles and the Chiefs. Thank you, brother.
All right, thanks everybody.
Good stuff from John McMullen joining us here on Birds 365. Great show as always here on the show. We broke down a lot, getting ready for this now Super Bowl game. The chat is a little bit unhinged today. Okay, not going to lie, you guys are, it's hard to read the chats and stay focused and not chuckle when some of you guys are saying some of the things you did. So I love each and every one of you guys are hilarious. All right, you guys are hilarious. Prince, if you missed it, we have Mike Gill on every Wednesday, and Mike Gill decided to take a trip to Thailand in the middle of a playoff push. I'm like, what the hell is going on at 97.3 ESPN? You're taking a trip to Thailand in the middle of the Eagles going to the Super Bowl? I had to roast Mike Gill live on air. So he's in Thailand. And all the great people of JAKIB have had a field day with it. Troy Robinson checks in. Zander's kicking the Grays out. No, Troy, I appreciate your support. I really do. It doesn't require a membership for me to appreciate your support, but I'm not giving jerseys away to Grace. I mean, come on, BMO. I saw you asking that. Hey, BMO, you might not want to give me your $5, which is perfectly fine, but it takes money to pay to pay John and Cilio and to keep the shows on the air, brother. Unfortunately, you might not want to be able to admit that, but that's the truth. All right. Money goes a long way in helping a business, okay? Humans need oxygen to breathe. You know what a small business needs to breathe? Small business needs cash to breathe. Cash. That's what you need. You don't have cash, you don't breathe. That's how it goes, everybody. All right, I got a jersey to give away. I do have a jersey to give away. Yeah, 17 cents a day. Twiz. These people act like I'm asking for the right arm. Although, Mac Main, you were hilarious earlier. Mac Main was cracking me up earlier. All right. I got, do I have two jerseys? No, I have one jersey to give away. And then I was supposed to give away Bond on Cilio yesterday, but he didn't bring me on until 5 p.m. So I missed it. All right. So I didn't do it yesterday. So let me text Cilio now and tell him so he reminds me. All right. We'll give away the Zach Bond jersey on the channel. Now, I can't be here too long because you know what I have to do today, everybody? Can anybody take a guess at what I have to do today and why I can't? I'll stay on till probably 11. I'll kick it around with you guys till 11. But I got to run. You know where I have to run? I have to run to get Right. Yo, Fleming, you've been in rare form. These dominate the box questions are just diabolical. Yeah, I got to go buy more jerseys. No, not take a shit, dirty air. Come on. Yeah, I got to go get more jerseys and stuff. All right, so here, I've been getting some questions, and I want to address one thing. People have been wanting the Super Bowl patch jerseys, all right? People have been wanting the Super Bowl patch jerseys. Flex, my guy Flex sent me yesterday. I was talking to the legend Flex, and we were texting back and forth yesterday. I don't want the patch jerseys yet because this is the problem with the patch, all right? Exactly, Bob Brown. If you lose that Super Bowl, that patch, every time you look at it, you get pissed off. I have a jacket, and it's not as important to me because I'm not the biggest Phillies fan in the world, but I have a jacket from the 22 Super Bowl because I had a chance to go to the Super Bowl game, or not the Super Bowl. I'm so bogged into the World Series game. All right. And I got the Phillies World Series jacket when I was at the game. It was cold and I didn't have shit on. I'm like, let me go buy the jacket. I'll buy it. It's a nice relic to have. Well, it's got the damn Super Bowl. Or it's got the damn World Series 22 patch. I'm like, they lost the series. It's not even a cool jacket anymore. I wish I could take the patch off the jacket. So I'm not doing the patch yet. Now, here's the good news, all right? If the Eagles win the Super Bowl this year, and we're 60 minutes away from being able to do that, all right? Got to do it. But if they do win it, I'm going to be giving away jerseys all summer, and I'm going to try and make sure they have the patch on them, all right? So once we cement our place in history, that is when we will do the patch. Until then, no patch, all right? No patch. Also, the Eagles have the choice because they're the designated home team. I think it's odd years are the NFC's the home team, and even years are AFC's the home team. So the Eagles will have a chance to pick the jersey color, green or white. What do you guys want to see the Eagles wear? Now, remember, we wore green last time we lost to the Chiefs. We've also worn green every time we've ever been to the Super Bowl. Izzy B says green. Jay Patterns says white. They're not going to wear Kelly green. Can't wear Kelly green. No way. Not going to wear Kelly green, guys. Everybody wants Kelly, but Kelly's not happening. I actually do not believe you're allowed to wear alternate in the Super Bowl. I do not believe you are allowed to wear an alternate. Yeah, I'm with Prince and Flex, and I want white. I want the white jersey. Oh, KC announced their whites? Did they, Dirty Air? Because we have first pick because we're the home team. So I guess the Eagles decided to go green. Is that confirmed, Dirty Air, or are you messing with me? Blackout would be cool. They can't wear alternates, guys. Black's an alternate. Can't wear black or Kelly green. Can't wear black or Kelly green. No, Barb, it actually doesn't work like this, Barb. The home team gets to pick which jersey they want. You're right. At default, the green is obviously the home uniform. But I don't know, Philly Don. I have to check what the rules would be. I'd have to check what the rules are. I like the white jersey, though, man. I think the white jersey's fresh. Midnight green on midnight green would be cool. All right, here's what I got. All right, let me give the update first on everybody. All right. I'm now almost entirely caught up on the giveaways for everybody prior to yesterday. Okay. So Brandon Howard won yesterday, Keith Junios and Mad Dio. Mad Dio, I'm waiting to hear from. I know he's dealing with some stuff at home, so I'm going to be patient with him whenever he gets back to me. Mad Dio, I see you're in the chat, brother. If you want to email me or whatever, I can get your JAKIB merch ordered ASAP. Keith and Brandon have not shipped you yet. Brandon, I didn't even hear from you till today. And then Philly Don sent yours yesterday. Chris Albright, I sent yours yesterday. Sorry for the delay on that, brother. I sent that out yesterday. Who else did I send out yesterday? I sent out one more. Why am I blanking on who it was? Let me look. I got it in my text. Okay, it was Albright, Philly Don. Oh, Chuck Hutton. Chuck, I sent yours out yesterday as well. Dakota, yours was sent out. I ordered yours. Yours was the JAKIB merch, right? I ordered yours last week. Or I ordered yours on Saturday. So it started fulfillment on Monday, yesterday. I'll check on that order for you. All right. You got the JAKIB merch, Dakota? I don't send out the JAKIB merch. All right. So if you win JAKIB merch, you do not get a big Z note. All right. You don't get a Z note that everybody loves. Okay. You do not get a Z note. If you win JAKIB merch, yeah, Dakota, yours order is being fulfilled right now. Okay, brother. So yours is coming. I don't ever touch that. It goes right to you. It ships it right to you. All right. So you don't get a Z note if you won JAKIB merch, unfortunately. You can, yeah, sure. You could get a big Z email if you want that. All right. Dakota says, no note. I want that more than the merch. No, I don't know, Philly Dom. No, I didn't do UPS yesterday. I did post office. The Z note going to dominate. Yo, Fleming. What Fleming? How am I supposed to read that on the show? I'm not saying you're wrong, though. But come on, man. All right, I have one of my guys, all right. And I love you if you're listening, all right. One of my guys is driving me up a wall. And again, I love you. Don't take it personal, but you're driving me fucking bonkers. All right, it's Devin Parker. Devin, are you in here? Devin Parker, are you in here? You are driving me to drink. You're driving me to drink. So I went and got Devin Parker a new jersey because he wanted a bigger jersey. And then he messages me back, I don't want that jersey. I'm like, what the fuck? Devin, I love you, brother. But I haven't sent yours yet because you keep switching up on me. So I'm gonna give away the jersey that you don't want. I have another Quignon XL. I'm only going to do one jersey today, I think. And I have Cooper DeJean in 2XL. Okay? Cooper DeJean in 2XL. Which jersey do you guys want me to give away today? And then on Cilia, we're going to give away the Zach Bond jersey. Zach Bond, Kelly Green. It's an XL. Zach Bond, Kelly Green. Okay? No, he's not turning away a gift. He wants me to get a different jersey for him. He's just like, oh, I don't like that one. I'd rather get this player. I'm like, all right, Devin, what the fuck? Devin, I was confused, or Dakota, I was confusing you with Devin. So at first I thought you were a royal pain in my ass, but you're not a pain in my ass at all, Dakota. So my apologies. It's Devin. Devin, I love you, but if you're listening, you're a pain in my ass. I'll get it fixed out for you. I'll get it worked out for you. All right, brother. I try and get it all worked out exactly for everybody. And then the guys I'm sending out today, real quick, I'll just give you the update. Cody K, Derek Elmore, and TK Washington. All right, those are my 3 shipments today. All right, so if you're in the chat and you're TK Washington, you are a legend winner. You won the Cooper DeJean black jersey. Cody K, I talked to you, brother. I got you the medium. Right? Isn't it? I think I'm right on that. Cody K, I'm sending yours today. And then Derek Elmore, our legend winner as well, with the black and Kelly Saquon Green Saquon jersey. So that's the update. And then I'll get to this week's winners as well. And I'll ship them out probably starting tomorrow. Howard Nalta, yours is on the way. Dakota, yours is on the way. If you want JAKIB merch, like I said, I don't ship it. So I just go on and order it. All right. I just go on and order it. So it comes right to you. It comes right to you. Everybody that won JAKIB merch. Philly Don says, why don't you get O-line and Philly Don, I get what I can, man. I get what I can, brother. Oh man. I love you guys, but man, what do they say about family? You love your family, but sometimes they drive you crazy. That's you guys. All right. That's you guys. Sometimes y'all drive me fucking crazy. Prince says, if I don't want that jersey. If I was Zander, I would have said no problem and blocked him. Yeah, no, you're not lying. All right, here we go. Let me do a giveaway. Are we getting any new members today? Yo, Troy, come on, Troy. No, I'm not going to coerce anybody. I don't like doing that. It's not my style. I appreciate the people who do willingly become a member of the channel. It means a lot, and it goes a long way. I know I always tell you guys that, but Yeah, cash is oxygen to business. So when you are a member, it goes a long way in helping us keep us on the air. So we appreciate that. Now, Curtis, I always say to people, I do want you to get the size because I spend hard-earned money on it, brother. So I want it to go to use, I want it to go to use. Brandon Howard, you got to DM me because you won a jersey yesterday. Which one did you win? You won the black and Kelly Cooper DeJean jersey. Yeah, you won this. You won this one, Brandon Howard. Yo, A-Team, you're giving away the secrets, bro. You're giving away the secrets, bro. A-Team says you coerce us every day saying you can be bought. Well, I can. Well, Jason, it's not hard to figure out, brother. Mac Main says it's going to be 10 minutes from now before he shuffles. 10. That's light. 10. You must be new to Zander time, Mac Main. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I'll be cursing people out for 10 minutes like Prince had me doing yesterday. Brandon, I'm going to send you it now. I don't think I have you on any social platform. Correct. Izzy says if we get more members in Super Chats, Zander will do 3 giveaways. Yeah, we were soft in the Super Chats today. We only had 3. Only 3 supers. That's all right. I appreciate Nate the God, Dirty Air, and Jason A-Team. We're all gearing up for a big Super Bowl run, so I'm pretty jacked up for that. How you guys all feeling about the Super Bowl? How you guys feeling? We're rematching the Kansas City Chiefs, who are a dynasty at this point, and they seem to win every game that they play that's close, which is obviously a tough matchup. But I feel like we match up well, man. I keep giving that Miles Sanders stat because I really feel like that's going to be the biggest thing. I mean, Prince, it might have been you that said this yesterday. We got away from the run game in that Super Bowl, and I think that cost us ultimately in the end. Darrell checks in. How do we get our hands on one of those hats? Because they're not on the website. Come on, Jacob. Yeah, Darrell, this hat was a gift, man. This is one of those melon hats. It's like an $80 hat, bro. The only $80 hats I buy are Kangos. So this was a great gift. All right, I love this hat. But now it's not on the website. You can still buy it in this color. It's just not this exact same hat. Yeah, the melon hats are nice, but they're really expensive. Keith becomes a member. There we go. We got a member in the mix. Marcus, I like that take you just put up. All right, here we go. Yeah, what was up? What was up with the chat today, by the way? You guys were in rare form today in the chat. Okay, I think you can all agree to that. Every time I look down, I saw a different comment. Soul Vane, I can buy my own gear. Well, no shit, Soul. I mean, thanks, Captain Obvious. This type of comment reminds me of the people who like announce when they leave a podcast. I'm like, this show is terrible. I'm leaving. I'm like, what do you need? You need justification to leave. You need everybody to know you're leaving. It's not an airport. You don't need to announce your departure. Get the fuck out of here. If you don't want the giveaway, Soul Vane, get the fuck out of here. Holy shit. Holy shit. And now it's like an airport. I always laugh at that when people comment, I'm leaving. I'm never watching this show again. I'm unsubscribing from your channel. I'm like, okay. Get him out of here. Yes, correct. Get him out of here. Iron Mike checks in. Cilio needs a Jerome Brown jersey and a Kango hat to wear for the Super Bowl. Man, I can't get that guy to put on a nice shirt if my life depended on it. I told him one time to put on something, and he's like, what you see is what you get. He took it all personal. I love Sills, though. But, yeah, he's a pain in my ass. I got a bone to pick with him today, too. Mac Man, here's $5. Take the rest of the day off, kid. Mac Man, I don't take days off. I don't like taking days off. I like working. I do. It gives me a great sense of purpose in life. There we go. Oh, my God. I was just ripping you to shreds. Devin. Look at him. He checks in with a super chat. See, this is what Jason A-Team was talking about, where I can be coerced. All right. I can be coerced. I was just ripping Devin Parker to shreds. And he checks in with a $10 super chat. Now he's back on my good side. Devin, you were never not on my good side, but it is pretty funny about what I don't know if you heard it. All right. He says, good morning, Jacob fam. These commie fans are in deep depression and I made them feel worse. I came into full Eagles gear today and they were sick. Mad I missed the show. We'll check it out later. Yeah, Devin, just rewind like 6 minutes. 6 minutes. I was shredding you to high heavens. Now, Devin, I was joking about that I got you a jersey on Saturday, and then you emailed me back and said, I don't want that jersey. So I was ripping you for that. But it's all good. I know where you're coming from, but I did use it to rip on you, which is pretty funny. Prince says, only the strong survive in Jacob Nation. Prince, that's the truth, brother. We missed you on Jacob. Prince is one of the OGs. All right. Yeah, Prince, this is my favorite part about it. You came back and you didn't miss a beat. You still had the same exact text that you used to entice people for likes. Everything was the same. I'm like, boy, Prince is back. Like, you didn't miss a beat. He didn't miss a beat, my boy Prince. So that was good. I like Devin too. I was just messing with him. Devin's like, man, I just sent you $10. I wish I didn't send that. Man, I'm in Chiefs County, so I'm tired of these fans. 83 rainy, boy. That's tough. That's tough. You're in Chiefs territory. All right. There's the membership link for anyone else that wants to do it. Here we go. Where are we at on members? 389 on members. 389 on members. Devin says, I'm an indecisive motherfucker. Come on, Devin. You got to be decisive in life. That's how you get to where you want to be in life. You look, you see, and you make a decision. You stick with it. You move on. Now, to your credit, you didn't really make the decision. I kind of did for you. Let me get a new download of the member list. Donner became a member earlier today. Donner, thank you, brother. I think you were the guy who was messaging me over on X. Appreciate you, my man. 389. Yeah, doing pretty good, SMD. Doing pretty good. Arthur, what's up, brother? QB1, ready to get it done. Keep up the good work. See, Arthur, I feel better about that comment now than I maybe ever have in the history of this football team. All right. I know some people still probably have their doubts about Jalen Hurts, but I really don't. Devin's pissed. I really don't have doubts about Jalen Hurts anymore. I think he really did prove that I'm going to do it however we need to do it to win games. And this year we have the best running back in football, and we have a historic offensive line. All right. I'm deciding I want to run. And I think, yesterday or 2 days ago, we needed him to pass more. He passed more. Dominated. 55 points on the board. Pittsburgh, we needed him to pass more. He passed more. Super Bowl 57, he was maybe arguably the best quarterback on the field. Like, I get it, but I really don't want to question the kid anymore, man. I really don't. I don't think by the way, I love his mentality. I really do. He's such a dope motherfucker. Troy Robinson checks in with a member. Appreciate you, Troy. Appreciate you, man. I know you were crying. You were saying you were going to be a Gray for life, and they coerced you in seconds. Where's Devin? I just saw one of Devin's comments. He says, where is he? He said, send my $10 back. I'm going to use your $10 to ship that shit. All right. I'm going to use your $10 to ship your jersey. All right. All right. Here we go. I'm pulling the member list now. So I won't keep you in waiting too long. I won't keep you in waiting for too long. I told you I got to get out of here at like 11. 11 tops. I got to go and see my boy. I got some stuff to pick up. All right. I got some business to tend to today. I'll tell you something. Yo, Prince is hilarious. I forgot how much I missed Prince in the show. Prince is fucking epic. All right, here we go. What am I giving away? Do you guys want Quinion or do you want Cooper? You want Quinion or you want Cooper? One's a 2X, one's an X. No, one's a large. Quinion's a large. Cooper DeJean is a 2X. This is Devin Parker, so thank Devin Parker for this. I'm giving it away, Devin. I'm going to get your jersey today. Troy, thanks for becoming a member, bro. I appreciate you. What do you guys want? Quinion or Coop? Uh-oh. Coop. Quinion. Coop. Uh-oh. Seems to be a win for Q. Mitchell. Uh-oh. Neither, because I'm not fat. I'm not fat either. I wear a large. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? All right, so let me tell you guys a great story. Actually, no, I won't say that story. I'll save that story. I'm gonna save that story. Sorry. I teased you with a story, but I'm not giving you it. Oh no, that's a Ryan, you set yourself up for that one, big guy. Extra small. Oof. Never want to be an extra small. Never want to be a dude that's an extra small, Ryan. Nugget says, I'm fat, so Coop. But Nugget, you're not a member, so you're not even entered. I'm going to go Coop. All right, and I'll get if you win and a 2XL doesn't fit you, I'll give you the same treatment, all right? If you need an extra small like Ryan, I'll try and get you something, all right? If you need a medium like Flax, I'll get you something. Oh, man, you guys are funny. All right, here we go. We got this list. 389, and Troy became 390. Troy, thanks for becoming a member, bro. I appreciate you. And Jawan. Oh, Jawan, thank you, brother. Appreciate that, man. Jawan Richardson. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I think I am. Troy Robinson and Jawan Richardson. Is that a little collusion right there? Those names are similar. Richardson, Robinson, Troy, and Jawan. Troy, you got a burner? Did you just become a member on 2? Keith Higgins is added and Dunner is added. Those are our 4 new members today so far. Flexen says, y'all fat asses need to get in shape. I love Flexen. He bullies people. It's funny. All right, here we go with the chat off the rails again. I don't know what is up with you guys today. What is up with you guys today? All right, here we go. Bob Brown, I'll digress on that one. I don't want to beat up on Ryan. Ryan, you know I love you, pal. Yeah, you guys are virtually bullying each other. Yeah, Prince, I don't know, man. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that's about, Prince. We don't got, I guess, I don't know. There seems to be no in between. No, it seems to be no in between. It's like a large is the hardest jersey to give to somebody. You guys would have loved my story that I was going to give you, but I didn't give you it. I'm going to hold off on that story. All right, I'm going to hold off on that story. I will say this, though. All right, we've been doing a lot of giveaways on JAKIB, and I do love doing it. I love giving back to the people because I do appreciate the heck out of you guys supporting me. I appreciate it like hell. But I was somewhere on Saturday, and somebody did something really nice for me. And I appreciated it so much because, I don't know, I've been giving to you guys, and I love giving. And then this dude is just like, gives me something and was so gracious about it. And he's just like, here, have this. You deserve it. You should take this. And I was like, damn, man, are you sure? Thank you. And it was cool. It was a cool moment. I'm like, dang, makes me want to give back more. But it was cool. It was cool. He hooked me up. All right, Bob, you're funny today. Yo, Prince, you're going to take that from Bob? You're going to take that from Bob, Prince? No, it was not a blunt, Abe. Abe's been high for 4 days. Abe's been high for 4 days. All right, I'm going to go to members only. Troy, you're in there, big guy. Holy shit. This guy becomes a member for 12 minutes, and he's barking at me. This guy must need to learn. This guy must need to learn. All right. See, I tell a story, and now everybody's going 100 different directions with it. You goofs. You goofs. No, he didn't give me anything like edibles, you goofies. He gave me something that I needed, that I was looking for. And I asked him specifically for it because I didn't know. And then he said, I have it, and here it is. You can have it. I'm like, oh, damn, man. Thank you. Thank you. You sure? That was cool. Yeah, Bob is funny, Prince. Y'all motherfuckers are sick. Actually, Prince, you'd probably appreciate what I got. Let me see. There's a couple guys in here who would appreciate what I got. I'm going to say Prince would appreciate it. Flexen would appreciate it. Who else? Maybe James Jones. Maybe. Who else would appreciate it? I'm going to throw him out there and put Devin Parker would appreciate it. Devin would appreciate it. Nah, Jason, I don't think you'd like it. I think you'd be like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. That's all right. Everybody got their own flavor. All right, here we go. I'm doing the giveaway. Chip, yes, you do, Chip. That's why I love you, brother. Appreciate you being here. Eduardo's pulling up an old story. Must have been a high school diploma. The last thing I want or need in my life, Eduardo, is that, okay? I couldn't care less about that. All right, here we go. This is the member list. Jawan, thank you for being here, brother, and thank you for becoming a member on the channel. I think I just saw a comment for you. He says, I love this channel. Jawan, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. All right, Troy. There it is. You see it, Troy? All right. Now sit back and enjoy the show, Troy. Look at Mesmerized. Man, you guys are all in rare form. You guys are all in rare form. Giveaway is still 10 minutes out. I told you. Bob, I told you this. I am very transparent about how this unfolds. Keith, thank you for becoming a member, man. I appreciate it. You're right here on the list, all right? Luis became a member yesterday. David, thank you, David. Philly Cat. William Fleming's in here. All right, I appreciate all you guys. It's Brett, Tyler, Richard, Lucius, T-Bone. Yo, T-Bone sends me some iconic emails. All right. T-Bone sends me some iconic emails. Like, I'm talking straight up novels. That's because people are in rare form every day, Ryan. Ryan, are you still upset that you're an extra small? Ryan, it's okay, buddy. Ryan, I'm sorry. Oh, Ryan, are you hurt? Ryan, it's okay. You need a milk bone, Ryan? Get this guy a treat. He's down bad. Get this guy a treat. He needs a milk bone. Like a puppy. He needs a milk bone. Oh, Flex, dude, if you've seen some of the, I also get some awesome emails. I get some funny emails, but I get some awesome emails. I got an awesome email yesterday from Philly Don. Philly Don, thanks for that email, bro. It means a lot. I love those type of emails. So Philly Don, there he is. Philly Don, thanks for that email. That was really dope of you. I get great emails all the time. I really do. The great people of JAKIB reach out. And I encourage it. I like hearing from the people. I like knowing who, I like knowing who the people are that support the channel. All right, here we go. So Bob Brown stops crying and Mac Main. Let's get the two big boys who can't stop crying about the damn giveaway. Let's go for them. All right, here we go. Start. Cooper DeJean, one winner. Prince, I'm going to start getting emails about you. I get emails about flexing all the time. The flexing emails, they come in hot. They come in hot, the flexing emails. They're hot. Oh, and Abe. We had Abe emails too. Abe, you remember that? Oh, my God, dude. Every day is a new journey. Every day is a new journey. This is why I say I go 1 minute at a time. So for the people waiting for the giveaway, I am 1 minute at a time. If you distract me, another minute will be added. Matt says, I'm going to have to start feeding my wife to fit this Cooper jersey. No, Matt, if you win it and you need a smaller size, I'll go and get it for you. Yeah, if Ryan wins, I will be sending him an extra small, okay, in honor of his comments. He will be getting an extra small. Donner, thanks for becoming a member today, brother. Troy, yes, you are in the drawing, okay? I will show you in a second. Troy, here you are, brother. You're right here. Your name is at the top of the list. It's right here. You see that, Troy? That is you. There's only one Troy Robinson, and you are him. He is you, and you are on the list. Keith, thanks for being here. Jawan, thanks for being here. Dunner, there you are, Dunner. Appreciate it. My man. Got you, Troy. I got you, brother. All right, here we go. 3 shuffles. 1 shuffle. 2 shuffles. There's Prince. You know, Prince was in the can for a couple months, and he never canceled his membership. Talk about loyalty. Prince never canceled the membership. All right? Guy was in the can. Maybe he never had a chance to cancel it, but he never did. Prince, appreciate you, bro. 3 shuffles. There we go. Ready? Start. You must be present to win. 3, 2, 1. Corey Littles. Corey, are you here? Corey, are you out there? See, what y'all don't know is, yes, what you guys do not know is JAKIB is a squad deep kind of company, okay? I showed up to Prince and bailed his ass out. Corey Littles. Is Corey here? I think Corey comments a lot on Cilio's show. He doesn't like Big Sills, but he comments on him every day. Get him out of here. Double M crying about me clapping. I do it every giveaway, dude. Live with it. Good night. I never knew this I could get this many tears. Is he here? Oh, he's here. Yeah, baby. Hooray. Congrats on the win, my brother. I'm here, my boy. Let's go. All right, Corey. Does a 2XL fit you, or are you going to send me back to the person? Are you going to send me back to get a new size? Send me back to the store. Corey, I got you, man. I see you. Congratulations on your win. Let's go get that Super Bowl. I'm giving away JAKIB merch, all right? I'll do another giveaway. Cousin Corey with the win today. Congrats to Cousin Corey for the win today. That was too fast. Yeah, see, look, Keith, little do you guys know, you want me to extend the giveaway, all right? You want me to extend the giveaway. Oh, my God. Yo, Bob, you're in rare form today, Bob. All right, I got a large. All right, Corey, I can make a compromise with you on the spot if you want to accept it. I got Quinyon Mitchell in large. You want it? Nugget, you were on the list. Oh, wait, did you just become a member? Somebody else just became a member. Steph, thank you, bro. Steph, thank you, man. Corey, where's Corey? I got a large in Quinyon. Take it or leave it. I see it. I think he's a couple seconds behind. Lock it down like Q locked down Terry. He's a little behind. I think on the stream he is. Hell yeah. All right, you go with the Quinyon? All right, Corey, email me up. Zander at jakibmedia.com. Steph says, I'll take it. Steph, thanks for becoming a member, bro. Dirty D, what's up, man? Missed most of the show. We'll have to go back and rewatch. Glad I made it to watch the giveaways. You got it, my man. Appreciate you being here. All right, Corey. Corey, email me. Zander at jakibmedia.com. Boom. I like Corey with a K. I think that's cool. Send the KCA. You think a 2XL's fitting big cells? You got another thing coming. KCA, you got to be kidding me, right? 2XL to Cilio? No. Cilio doesn't wear 2XLs, guys. So I have to. People are like, why don't you get you a Cilio some JAKIB merch? I'm like, yeah, I will when I get around to it, when I get some extra dollars. You know, I got to custom order Cilio merch. Okay. I got to custom order my guy merch. All right. I got to go to the big and tall store, get some custom printed JAKIB merch from there. All right. Holy shit. You got to be kidding me. All right. We're doing another giveaway. Should this be a legend giveaway? I wonder. Maybe it should be. Let's give it now. We'll do a regular. I'll do it. Oh, wait. Do I have another legend jersey? I thought I did. Maybe I don't, though. This is TK Washington. This is Derek Elmore, Saquon. And this is Cody K. I got jerseys all over the place. This is Corey Littles. Congrats, Corey. Zach Ball, we haven't given away that yet. Cooper DeJean, we still have that. Keith Junios, this is yours. I didn't ship it yet. And this is Brandon Howard's. Brandon Howard's. All right, so we still got jerseys everywhere. Oh, wait, you know what I can do? I got something I can do. How about a hat and a beanie, and then we'll do a legend. I'm definitely going to do JAKIB merch again. I like doing the JAKIB merch. What you got, my boy? Let me find it, Eduardo. First, I got those. You see the studio is so. You see how nice and clean my studio is that I can wheel all around in my chair. All right. I have one more beanie. I got one more beanie. And Chuckster, I'm going to give away the hat that you were supposed to win because I sent you a Saquon Barkley jersey instead. All right. So I still have this hat. This was going to be Chuck Hutton's, but we upgraded Chuck to a jersey. Okay. Corey, thanks for emailing me. I'll get back to you after the show. All right, brother? I got it, man. I got your email. So thank you so much. Brandon Howard, I got your email as well. Yo, Casey, yeah, I got a bad story about that, man. I'm so pissed off about it. I'm pissed off about my damn neon sign. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah. Don't get me started. All right. Unfortunately, it might not be on the wall for a little bit. I got to figure it out. I got some work to do. No, Princey moved. You weren't here when he moved, I don't think. He moved. The Coop jersey, Brandon. XL, but I could probably get you in a different size if you want, and then I'll give that one away to somebody else. What kind of hats you got? Any black or white hats? I just got this green one. It's pretty cool, though. I like it. I don't know. Abe has it. Abe looks good on it when he wears it on the show. And I got these, which no one seems to like, but I think they're pretty sick. They're suede. No, that's not the problem with the neon sign, Bob. Although one of our great viewers, I will say this. This is what I love about the people. You know, you guys send me stuff too. So you know that eagle green sweater I was wearing on Saturday? You guys probably saw it if you watched the show on Saturday. I was wearing a Kelly Green shirt, Eagles shirt. Somebody sent that to me, and I don't know who it is. Somebody sent that to me. It was fire. Somebody sent that to me anonymously. They sent it to the address on our site. I was like, damn, that's really dope. I wish I knew who it was though, because I would do something nice for him, man. But I appreciate it. That's really cool that people do that. And then let me give you another great story. All right, Four Reels Fishing. You guys know Four Reels Fishing in the chat? He won a jersey a couple weeks ago. Double M, you didn't send me shit. You know Four Reels Fishing? Four Reels Fishing. He offered me to make me, he makes neon signs, but they're a little bit different than the one I got. And he offered to send me a neon sign free of charge. So that's pretty cool. Four Reels. If you're listening, I'm going to take you up on that offer. All right, brother? I'm going to take you up on that offer. All right. And maybe yours will work a little bit better. You guys want to see the one I got? I'll show you. It's pretty sick. Look at autumn day, babies in the belly of the beast. It's pretty sick. It lights up really good, but it's too bright. I got like a setting for it and everything. Look, let's see what this thing does. Here we go. Look at autumn day, babies in the. See, it's too bright. Why is it glitching? No. And see, it glitches on camera. Like, why does it do that? It drives me crazy. Too bright. It's too bright. But it is sick. I don't know. What do you guys think? You like it? I was kind of disappointed, not going to lie to you. I was pretty disappointed about it. It's pretty cool, though. Yeah, you're right, Izzy B. That's exactly why. I got to buy a new camera. I know what it is, guys. I'm aware of what the problem is. Dirty air. I might need to contract you, bring you into my studio and build me a better sign. Or build me a better studio. I got a dimmer for it, Howard. The problem is when I put it on 25, it's still too much. Now, my camera's decent. It's not bad. I think it's pretty good. I think it's honestly more StreamYard. Need a better fucking camera. Matt, add it to the list of expenses, man. Sometimes I don't think you guys realize the type of expense that goes into this shit. I'll build it. I'll get it all done. All right. I'll get it all done. Yo, Four Reels. Thanks, bro. I might take you up on that. I might have to. I think yours might be more quality than the one I got. Yeah, you can turn it down, Abe. It just doesn't go low enough. So, all right. Look at this smart ass. Some of you guys are funny, man. These smart asses in this chat. Where is it? Never mind. I'm not even going to address it. All right, here we go. We're doing another giveaway. I'm going to do a hat. You want 2 hats? The beanie. And we'll do the Kelly hat. Where's the Kelly hat? Fuck it go. There it is. All right, how about that? That's a good giveaway. 2 hats. If you're in Philly, you need the beanie. If you're not in Philly, you need the hat. If you win, you get them both. Okay? If you win, you get them both. If you damn. Here we go. Brandon, I might have to do a super chat fund one day where fund a new camera for Big Z. I got a lot of great off-season ideas. You know, Remember, I didn't start hosting my show until May. Yeah, Devin did get the best meeting. I didn't start hosting this show till May. So this entire season, this entire year is all new to me compared to what I did in the past, which was all behind the scenes. All right. So I'm still optimizing. Okay. I'm still optimizing. You guys got to stick with me here. I am optimizing and I am only learning more and getting better. So, and I'll continue to do that. I will continue to work on everything and get better. All right. So camera, studio, setup, production, everything, you name it. Believe me, I think about it all. I think about it all. It's actually all I think about. It drives me to drink. I sit here in my studio till 11 o'clock at night and I don't drink, but I stress about all this shit. All right, here we go. Let's do two hats. I know it's not as fun as a jersey, but I'm doing what I got. Start. Confirm. 1 shuffle. 2 shuffles. 3 shuffles. Start. Yeah, Dirty Air. I might text you because you can help me out with this stuff. I know you do a lot of camera work for NASCAR, which is sick. 3, 2, 1. Kenny Sprague. He's a legend member. Kenny might deserve an upgrade. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. Kenny, are you here? Yeah, the Bond jersey's sick. Curtis, I'm not a drinker, man. I haven't drank. And the last time I had a drink was my brother's wedding, which was a year and a half ago now. I haven't had a drink since. I did enough of that in college and stuff, man, and high school. I did enough of that in my youth. I promised you I did it. I've done enough. I've experienced enough of it. I'm not missing out on anything. Kenny! There it is. All right, we're going to do a JAKIB merch giveaway too, so hang tight. Boy, Loco. Bob calls me a quitter for stopping drinking. No, Bob, I just don't like it anymore, man. I really don't. All right. Fleming, you're going to get me in trouble with the shit that you say. All right, Kenny. Kenny is a legend member. All right. Kenny is a legend member. Kenny, this is what you won. You won 2 hats. All right. Yeah. Wait a second. Let me see what's going on here on my phone. I try telling these people, people watch the show. You guys are making this show like rated R. I don't think we need to get into rated R territory here. All right, Kenny, how can I contact you? Zander at jakibmedia.com. What is up with the chat today? Where's Catherine? Catherine, you're the mom of the chat, Catherine. You need to get the kids in order, okay? Because there's grown men in here acting like children. Catherine, get this chat in order. Can I task you with this? Matt, I might have to start giving away. No, it can't affect the channel. I love the chat. I'm just messing around. I'm just messing around. I love the chat, but it's funny. Oh my God, bro. Some of y'all are hilarious. Kenny, congrats on your win. Did you email me or what? Kenny? I'm going to do a JAKIB merch giveaway. Catherine says some things are out of my hands. Yeah, Catherine. There's no doubt about that. Chat's the best part of the show. No doubt, Troy. The chat is a big part of the show. It's a big part of the show. No doubt about it. All right, I'm still going to do a JAKIB merch giveaway. All right, let me pull up the merch site. What do we want? What do we want on the JAKIB merch site? You know, a lot of you guys have been ordering. And I appreciate that. That's really cool. That's really cool. Where is this thing? Hat and hoodie, that's good. Hat and hoodie, I can do that. Here we go. You can see we got regular JAKIB. There's the hat I used to wear like every day. Love that hat. It's dope. Regular JAKIB t-shirt. I like these because they have it on the side. I love the Philly on the side on these. I think that's fresh. Polo for the polo wearers. You could get that. This is no, I'm not wearing this sweatshirt right now. I think I'm wearing bleeds green. Am I wearing bleed green right now? What am I wearing right now? Yeah, I think I got bleed green on. I got bleed green on. Abe, send them up. Abe, you know what I really want the most, Abe? Is I want one, I think, for the no-holds defense with a carving of the people, but I don't have a good designer to send it to after you send it to me. I'll work on that. Yeah, Mac, it should be on the way, bro. I ordered it. I ordered everybody that got JAKIB merch. I ordered it for you, okay? I have ordered that for you. So Howard Nolte, I know you won last week, JAKIB merch. Who else won JAKIB merch? Mad Dio, I haven't heard from you yet, brother, but you know I'll send it to you once I hear. Tony Akbar, who else won JAKIB merch? Dakota Warren, I ordered yours, and I think that's it. All right, here we go. This is the JAKIB Nation collection. This is the bleed green. It comes in black logo or white logo. I tend to like the black better. I'm wearing white right now, but I think the black is fresh. That's cool. That's one. You could get Stout U. Stout U seems to be popular. Abe, credit Abe for that. So if you like Stout U, buy credit Abe. All right. There's the t-shirt and the Stout U hoodie with the stitched JAKIB on the front. All right, that's fresh. All right, here we go. What are we giving away today? Actually, I'll let you pick. You can pick a sweatshirt and a shirt or a sweatshirt and a hat. Lou, love you too, brother. Appreciate you, Lou. Lou is one of our great supporters here, one of our great veterans. He was a winner of the Salute to Service sweatshirts. Lou, appreciate you, man. I can't thank you enough. Jody and J-Mac never talked to the people. They hated talking to the people. They used to shit on you guys pre-show. Not John, Jody. He hated the chat. Jody hated the chat. Real Zeal says, I like to wear a nice shirt while working from home, unlike Celia. You guys, some of you like the long sleeves. If you want a long sleeve, I'm good with that. You can get a long sleeve. You can get a long sleeve. I'm cool with that. Sweatshirt and a long sleeve would be fine. Long sleeve and a hat, whatever it is you want. I'll do it. All right. All right, let's pick a new winner now. All right. Nope. Oh, man. You gotta be kidding me. All right, we still got the list. Who do I have to add, though? Keith Higgins is in here. Who else? Steph became a member. Wait. Keith Higgins. All right. You got Troy Robinson. Jawan Richardson. Jawan, thanks for becoming a member, bro. Appreciate you. And Steph. Steph, thanks for becoming a member, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. He's not a scumbag. Zeal. He's not. He's fine. Jody just wanted to make too much money to do a 2-hour show in the morning. So I decided to become the host myself. And I think it's been a big improvement. Now, maybe I'm biased. I don't know. You know, you always get some people who are like, I miss Jody. I'm like, all right, it's fine. Members, Philly Don, members. This is a member-only giveaway. We haven't got any new legend members. I got plenty more legend giveaways, though, coming up. All right. I got plenty more legend giveaways coming up. All right. So stay tuned. Yeah, Rashid, he's great. Brady was cool, man. All right, here we go. Wait, did I add everybody? I did, right? Troy, Joanne, and Steph. All right, I got everybody. Confirm. We'll do 3 shuffles, and you can pick a couple of items. What's going on with my computer now? Here we go. 1 shuffle. 2 shuffles. 3 shuffles. Start. 4, 3, 2, 1. Chipped tooth. Eagle. Where's he at? Where's Chip Tooth? He's a Birds 365 watcher, Chip Tooth. Where's Chip Tooth at? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the name, but it is what it is. Chip, you out here? Caesar, when are you coming? Kenny, let me check. Yes, I did, sir. I got your email. You got me. You said Chip. That's true. He's at the den. Good one, Slagger. Slagger with the win of the day so far. Good one. Caesar, if you come to Philly, I'd be more than happy to see you, bro. I love meeting the great people of JAKIB Nation, okay? I love meeting the great people of JAKIB Nation. You know, I got a text, I got a comment yesterday on an email or something, and I'm like, I'd love to meet you. I wonder if you're different in person than you are on the air. I'm like, not at all. What you see is what you get with Big Z, okay? Ask Flexen or Jason A-Team. I met both of them recently. Chip is done. He's done. You're done, Chipped. Confirm. 1 shuffle. 2 shuffles. 3 shuffles. Start. Done and dusted. 4, 3, 2, 1. Paul Blohm. Paul Blohm. I do not anticipate him being here. I think he's a foreign. Curtis, no, I don't call myself that ever, actually. I do on the show now because some people could put that in the chat. 3 for 3. Fail. I might have to break out the green Kango. All right, I might have to break out the green Kango if Paul is not here. Paul, are you here? Yeah, it's a green. It might be green Kango time. Actually, I think Paul won a. I think Paul won a. Yeah, that's true, Brent. Oh, it's 11:05. Oh man, this always happens. It's 11:05 before we even know it. We'll go green Kango in a second here. Paul's done. Let's go for another JAKIB merch winner. We were doing good until Chip Tooth. Chris, good to see you in here. I sent your thing out yesterday. Sorry for the delay on that, bro. But I appreciate you being patient with me. All right. I sent your thing out yesterday, Chris, and you're not, I don't think you're too far from me, brother. So that should get there soon. That should get there soon. Actually, most of the people I sent out yesterday were close. Philly Don, you're not too far from me. Who else did I send out? Chuck Hutton, you're out there. You're not close. Mac Main says, let's do some Bama keg stands at the parade. That guy is retired. No, Devin, never did I even think of that. We were doing, Devin, it started, we were doing Saquon jerseys. Every time he went over 125, that's how it started. And we started that because John was doubting Saquon. Remember? On this show. That's how all the giveaway stuff started. And then I started to accumulate more Eagle merch over the year with the idea of doing a big Christmas giveaway. And then we just started doing giveaways like every day. And now it's become a big thing. Now I just enjoy doing it. And obviously I think it's good for the great people of JAKIB Nation. Got a link for that, Big Z? What, Anthony? Let me know. Here we go. New winner. Zander going bankrupt for us. Izzy B, you can say that again. Confirm. 1 shuffle. 2 shuffles. 3 shuffles. Michael Robinson. Isn't he in here? Or no, that's Troy. That's Troy. Bob Brown. Birds and beers. Start. Four, three, two, one. Tim Ski 6. I do not know Tim Ski. I do not know you, Tim Ski, but if you're in here, reveal yourself. If you're in here, reveal yourself. I better get going. I got 3 hours till Cilio's show. I better get going. Or else you guys are going to be crying I don't have anything to give away tomorrow. Oh, I still got one jersey. I got one jersey. Green Kango. Let me go to the Green Kango. All right. I'll go to the Green Kango. Let's see if Tim Ski's here, though. Let's see if Tim Ski is here. From the snakes to the grass, trying to move out to the streets. Green hat time, Catherine. Yes, it is. Chris says that hat was smooth though. I like the Kangos way better. I don't really care what people think. You know, people come, oh, why do you wear those hats? I'm like, you think I give a shit what you say? I mean, what the hell? All right, here we go. Start a new winner. We got the green hat on. Okay. So we should have a winner now. We should have a winner. Crowley, I got to give Crowley something. You're right. 1 shuffle. Slaggers at the top. 2 shuffles. Philly, 2 Chicago's at the top. 3 shuffles. Start. Doug, there he is. 3, 2, 1. Sean Goodwin. Uh-oh, we got another loser. I don't think Sean's here. Tell me Sean is here. Bird Gang Girl, it's not over yet. Game is not over yet. Zeal says next. Where's Flexion? He must have left me for K. Flexion must have left me for K. He's not in here to say, get him out of here. Next. Speed round. Bob, this is Zander time, sir. This is not Bob Brown time. Okay? There he is. Sean Goodwin is now Sean Good Lose. Sean Good Lose. Until further notice. Start. Confirm. 1 shuffle. 2 shuffles. 3 shuffles. Start. Come on. We need a winner. 3, 2, 1. Philly Birds and Bears. Kayla gets it. Nothing is speedy during Zander time. I love this guy's name, though. Is he here? Look at all you dorks. Look at the simps. Look, Izzy B puts in one stupid-ass comment. Zander, you're the one bitching you have to leave. And look at all these simps. Izzy right. Izzy B, get him. Yeah, go Izzy. Izzy fighting back. You guys are simps. Yeah, Birds and Beers got to be here. He's always here. Yeah, Birds and Beers, let's go. All right, what do you want, Birds and Beers? What do you want, Birds and Beers? What do you want? Let's pull it up. What do you want? It's time. It's time for Birds and Beers to pick some merch. What do you want, big dog? What do you want, big dog? Stout U hoodie. I love it. Decisive. You see this? Everybody take a lesson from Birds and Beers today. Decisive. I'll say it one more time. Decisive. Let's go, Birds and Beers. My guy. All right, you get 2 things, though. You want a Stout U hoodie and what? He's going to get the Stout U hoodie. Stout U hoodie. XL. Gotcha, bro. What t-shirt do you want? You want JAKIB Bleeds Green t-shirt? You want that? Is that good? You good with that? Both XL? XL, got you. All right, email me. I got to know who you are, unless I have you on Twitter. Devin, I called you out by name, brother. Look at Devin says, call my name out if you're talking shit. Devin, I very, very clearly and eloquently stated Devin Parker is who I'm going to shit on right now. Okay. Okay. I very clearly called you by name. All right. I don't shit talk people behind their back. I'm doing it with Sills. All right. I'm doing it with Sills. Birds and Beers. Let me know when you email me. I'll look for it. All right. I'm doing the ball and jersey today on Cilio. Actually, let me text him. He'll start to promote it. Let me text Cilio. Ball and jersey giveaway today on your show. You did, NJ. You did. Oh, the merch link? It's just jakibsports.com. I'm probably going to do it at the end of my segment. Devin says, I can't wait to go back and hear this. Yeah, I was chirping you, Devin. I ain't going to lie. The people will tell you that too. Bob, Bob, how many times do I have to tell you that this ain't America? This is not a republic. This is not a democracy, Bob. Okay? This is not a democracy, Bob. This ain't no democracy. All right. I appreciate everybody. Philly Birds and Beers, make sure you email me because I didn't see your comment. Let me write down my winners. Who won today? I got to write these down. Kenny Sprague won the 2 hats. Corey Littles won large Quignon jersey. And Birds and Beers won JAKIB merch, Stout, hoodie, bleed green tee. All right, cool. Birds and Beers, email me. Okay, Twitter, that's good. That works. That works. That works. Appreciate you guys. No legend giveaway today, Dirty D. We didn't get any new legends, and I don't really have anything yet, but I'm going to get more jerseys today, so I'll get more legend jerseys to give away, Dirty D. They will be coming. Don't worry. I have plenty to do for the JAKIB Legends, okay? I have plenty to do for the Legends. So if you're a legend, don't worry. I got more coming. All right? Appreciate you guys on here today. I got to run. See you next time, everybody, on Birds 365.
You've been listening to Birds 365, the destination for the passionate Eagles football fan who bleeds green. If it's Eagles football, we're talking about it. Debate, inside the locker room, and guests that are some of the greatest football minds from around the region. We hope you enjoyed the show. We know we had a blast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hook up with us on social media at JAKIB Sports. See you next time on Birds 365.